What's up, Flannelverse? It is time for the Wednesday night best ball stream where I am consistently bringing on some of the best guests in the industry. Very excited for the three guests I've got tonight. I've got Jakob Sanderson coming on first. In an hour, we're going to have Nez joining us. And then an hour after that, Emo Cowboy is going to join me. The first two guests are going to be here for one draft apiece. And then, I don't know, we'll see how long me and Tyler end up going. But before I bring Jakob in, I just wanted to remind you, first of all, please do like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. I am trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the NFL season. Have a long ways to go. So would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. On top of that, I wanted to let you know that I did get my first piece of content out behind the paywall today. That content is on the Eliminator contest on Underdog. I think I have some unique thoughts that I haven't really seen elsewhere. It's a contest that I have had some success in. A couple years ago, the first year, I only played 5 or 10 lineups. I got one pretty deep into it, into the double-digit rounds. I could not actually find my results there, so I don't remember exactly how I did. But last year, I got 2 teams to week 14. One of those teams was then eliminated by like 1.3 fantasy points, missed the mark. Then I got one. The other team did get to week 15, where I was, again, the top team that was eliminated, lost out by about 3 points. So that was pretty rough. But I've had some success in the Eliminator and did some content on that. Hope you will check that out. You can find that by joining the Flannelverse channel here. It's just $4.99 per month. I just broke a wine glass behind me full of wine if you did not hear that. But now it is time to bring in Jakob Sanderson. He is, I give all my guests credit for like one thing that they got me onto. And Jakob, the one thing that I always remember Jakob getting me onto, and I remember it because I took his advice very, very strongly, was Nico Collins in round 9 2 years ago when he was just going too late, and Jakob was just beating the drum for him all summer. And I think he ended up being my highest owned player 2 years ago. So I have Jakob to thank for that. But Jakob gives a ton of great advice. He has a great newsletter, Thinking About Thinking. You should subscribe to that if you haven't already done so. But I'll stop glazing him. I'll just ask him, Jakob, how are you doing tonight?
I have a more pressing question. Are you telling me that there's just like a bunch of spilled wine directly behind you right now?
There is a ton of spilled wine and glass immediately behind me right now. Yeah.
Is someone going to address that, or are you just going to stream for like 3 hours and then eventually clean it up?
Luckily I do have shoes on. So I'm probably going to
like
stream for 3 hours.
Is there carpeting? Like what's the scenario?
It is hardwood floors. That's a good question.
Okay.
That is a good question.
I can vamp for a minute if you want to like get a towel.
Let's do that. Let's have you vamp for a minute.
I'm gonna
grab a towel.
Don't just let the wine sit and destroy your hardwood floor for like hours.
I think I hear my wife agreeing with you behind me. So I'll let you vamp for a minute. I am going to check out while I clean this up. Jakob, what I don't know. What are you going to talk about? Do you have an idea of what you're going to talk about?
I'm not sure. Anyone in the chat got any comments? Do we have anybody in the chat?
All right. Anybody in chat want to help Jakob out here? I would love to hear your thoughts. Have you given any thought to the eliminator contest? Or do you just want to go over your Bashal Tootin versus Travis?
I can go over that. I've actually never drafted an eliminator team, so I literally couldn't even tell you the rules of the eliminator.
Go over that one. I'll be back in 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Go grab a towel. I cannot believe that Neil was just going to let like a big pile of glass and wine sit there behind him for potentially hours. That would have been one of the craziest things that I've ever seen. Nobody is more committed to the bit than Neil. More committed to the bit than you. Bashal Tootin is a guy that I've been tweeting about a lot, tweeting much more than any person realistically should. I basically just view that as someone is going to win big in this backfield. Liam Cohen offense. You bring up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One of the really fascinating things about Liam Cohen, didn't actually have that much success, I guess, with the Rams the one year. But in his college background, Kentucky, think about Ray Davis's college receiving profile. And he had like upwards of 40 catches. That was in a Liam Cohen college offense. So there's a reasonable history of him really utilizing the running back position in the passing game. Even guys probably we don't even think of as like elite pass catchers. So I think you want a winner in this backfield. And, my point about Tootin versus Etienne is just they go at the exact same price. And I want to take a pretty big stand on one of them. And to me, Tootin's just kind of the decisively better bet. ETN hasn't really been particularly efficient since 2022. Even his good year in 2023, he was kind of a volume sponge. He looked pretty good early in the year. And then if people remember, like the latter half of the year was a lot of him like dragging his ass to 12 points every single week. I remember because I had him on a pretty competitive main event team. And it was not a fun experience slotting him into my lineup every week after about week 7. And then last year he was quite terrible. And if I have any experience in fantasy, most times, not every time, but most times when you get a player who's a veteran, we're talking about a year 5 running back, you make the same claim for like Tyreek Hill. I had a back and forth with J Mac about this. When people are like, oh, this guy was hurt last year, so you can throw out the efficiency. It's like, usually that's not great when we do the he was actually hurt excuse for veteran players with deeply declining efficiency. Usually they just keep getting hurt or they just keep being inefficient. Usually it's one of those two. So I'm betting on Tuden. Had elite advanced metrics on the ground in all of the stuff that I look at. One of the highest missed tackles forced rates, one of the highest explosive run rates, one of the highest yards after contact rates. Seeing people in the chat, what are we playing? We're going to be drafting a best ball mania team if and when Neil cleans up the wine disaster on his floor. Hopefully the 22nd, because I got a bar trivia in 84 minutes. AJ Dillon or Will Shipley? Definitely Will Shipley. Yeah, not. I honestly continually forget that AJ Dillon was on the Philadelphia Eagles, but not into him. I actually like Shipley a lot as a prospect. I still think last year, had Saquon gotten hurt, not that I'm wishing that on him, but I'm guessing that even though Shipley was behind Gainwell into complementary snaps, I feel like if we got like 4 weeks of it just being Shipley and Gainwell, I think Shipley would have passed up Gainwell pretty quick. If Tootin were a wine, which one would he be? That's interesting. Can't say I'm like the most knowledgeable wine drinker. What's something that's like kind of high variance but has really high upside? Like if you're saying like it could be the worst wine you ever drank in your life, but also could be a $3 million wine. Let me know. Chris Davis says ETN looked actually bad last year. I agree. Apparently, Bijan would be a Tempranillo. I've never heard of that in my life. And Neil's back, so I can doing it.
So sorry about that, Jacob. That was kind of hilarious timing right at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, it was. So I heard myself talking through my phone. I was like, I don't know where that sound is, and then I just reached over to turn it off and just knocked over, and it was like a double glass of red wine. I was like, this is what I'm going to drink the entire night. I was like, red wine is going to be good for the entirety of a 4-hour stream. So I made it 2 full glasses of wine in I actually just learned a couple days ago that my wife and I are down to our final 2 red wine glasses. So now we are down to 1 red wine glass in this house. But mostly cleaned up. It's going to be a little bit sticky behind me, but we got the hardwood floors cleaned up. So Jacob, I don't think I even heard the answer to your question because you were so concerned about me. How are you doing tonight? How are things going?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well, man. Excited to draft.
Okay, and let's just get into the draft. Because I know you have places to be, people to see. So let me put this on. There we go.
I'm just tweeting about your wine experience.
It was pretty exciting, for sure.
Yeah, I just never seen anyone more committed to the grind. I just can't get over the fact.
What do you do? What was I supposed to do, Jacob?
What were you supposed to do? Wipe it up.
I was doing the opening.
I can't just believe that you were like, I have a puddle of glass and fermented grape behind me.
It was so lucky that I had my shoes on.
And I'm just gonna be like, well, they love me.
I was gonna figure it out at some point. It was just like I had given zero thought to like how do I handle this.
You were so calm.
Yeah, I guess
calm under pressure. That's a man built for doing as many best ball drafts. Like I can just picture you like 6 tabling 20-second puppies. And it's like, oh fuck, I just dropped a case of wine.
30-second I can do. 20-second, no thanks. All right, we're gonna get into a 30-second BBM draft. I saw somebody asking. Okay. I'm entering it right now. I'm entering it on my phone because I've been having the location issue. 9 more to start, so we have time for people to enter if you want to.
Sweet.
And I'll get in here so we can. Do you have a favorite draft position, Jacob?
Yeah, I actually like the end this year better. It's not always the case.
I think I
usually
do
prefer
too.
the early slots. But yeah, I would say because generally speaking, similar to last year, I think that the running back is the better pick in a vacuum, 1-to-1 versus the wide receiver. Basically, every pick to me, like for 7 rounds. And so to me, it's like I repeated about this earlier, and I'll have a larger article on it later. But it's like to me, the running back scoring kind of goes like this, wide receiver scoring kind of goes like this. So it's like I want to just pick where they're closer together. So to me, that's going wide receiver. Actually, it's kind of counterintuitive, but I want to go wide receiver kind of in the first couple rounds when I can, and then hammer running back in that round 3 to 6 range, where I can still manage the structure. Because like I know there was tweets going around about like actually 0 wide receivers for 7 was optimal last year, which is very funny. I don't think that's actually applicable to like the playoff weeks where you want ceiling it at every position. So I want to be a little bit at the back because I think there it's very easy to do a wide receiver start, maybe wide receiver Bowers. But at the front, it's like I just did 2 BBMs recently, and I got 1-4, and it's like I'm not going to click Lamb over Bijan or Barkley. So I'm clicking Bijan or Barkley. And then if McConkey and AJ Brown are off the board by the time it comes back to me, it's like I'm not really interested in clicking like a Higgins or a Garrett Wilson ahead of Jonathan Taylor or Bucky Irving. So I usually end up starting running back, or I go McBride, running back tight end. And then I just kind of end up taking like a bunch of picks I don't want to take for the next 4 rounds.
Interesting. So you can't get yourself to draft CeeDee Lamb over Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, did you say? Was that the
Barkley?
Well,
And
I sometimes
I can draft
okay.
Lamb over Gibbs, no problem.
Okay.
Maybe I should mix him in ahead of Bijan or Barkley, but I don't know. I think those two project way better.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't take a ton of Barkley. I usually will go. So it's for
Neither
me,
do
it's
I.
Chase
I take
and then
Jefferson over
Jefferson.
Barkley.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that I have kind of a similar conundrum. I end up taking a lot of Trey McBride late second round. How do you feel about Trey McBride?
So I like Trey McBride a lot in a vacuum. My issue is that I like the 2v2 again. Kittle versus 4-5 turn options, McBride versus 2-3 turn options. I tend to favor Kittle. So I'll probably be like 10 to 12% McBride, but I'm like 25 to 30% Kittle. So I try to I mix and match a little bit, but I prefer Kittle of the 2 options, where it's kind of counterintuitive in that Bowers is more costly than McBride, but I actually feel like it's almost less costly in the sense because I can't usually get Kittle at that 5-6 turn. Right. So I'm like, if I take Bowers, if I don't take Bowers, the options I'm probably just waiting on tight end. Whereas with McBride, it's like I'm sacrificing the chance to get Kittle, who's really the tight end I like the most. So I almost feel like the opportunity cost is higher because and plus with Bowers, I've gotten it once or twice where he actually does come around all the way to the comes around back in the 6th, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll take Bowers
double tight end
in round 6. Not if he comes back in 5, but if I take Bowers in the 2nd, and then I take someone else in the 5th, and Kittle comes all the way back around to me in the 6th, which has happened once. I've been like, not in my house. If I'm taking the pick 63 George Kittle every time.
I had this conversation. I was on Becoming a Best Ball with JJ McCarthy. We did I think yesterday, 2 days ago we recorded, but we had the conversation about tight ends, and I told him, I was like, I think in all of my so it was DraftKings is what he's doing his show on. So I was doing all of my DraftKings drafts up to that point, except for one. I had taken one of those 3, either Bowers or McBride or Kittle. And the only time I didn't get it was I had done a draft where I took McBride, and then it came back around to my turn, and I was like, oh, Kittle's there, sweet. And then I was like, oh wait, I already have McBride, so I can't take Kittle. So in the following draft, I didn't take McBride. So I was like, okay, now I'm going to just wait and get Kittle. And then of course he went. So that was the only time that I did not get one of those. Really, really love those 3 on DraftKings also. But yeah, I've been drafting a ton of all of them on Underdog. We, by the way, have the 3rd overall pick. D. Lutomsky right ahead of us here. I'll go to the draft.
Oh, sweet. Oh, well, I mean, okay. So this is probably, I like 3 more than 4, decisively. Because, well, who knows? This is a stream draft, so it'll probably be Jefferson too. But for the most part, it's Chase, Barkley, and ADP, and that's usually what you get. And then I take Justin Jefferson at 3. But if it goes wide receiver, do you have a preference between Barkley and Bijan? My preference in a vacuum is actually Bijan, but I kind of split it because the way I look at it is like I don't want 0 Barkley, but I don't want 8 either. So I occasionally will take Barkley at 3 over Bijan. I take Bijan most of the time.
So I think that I maybe feel the same way, or at least I kind of view them as a toss-up. But because of that, I don't get too much Saquon. So like if he falls to us at 3, I would be inclined to go. But honestly, you're the guest.
Totally fine with me. No, I draft plenty of Bijan. That's how I feel about it. It's like because I get Bijan at 4 a lot. Bijan actually goes. So it's that's an interesting one. So it's Jefferson or Barkley, which is not usually the choice you get at 3. I'm Jefferson here though.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna have a wide receiver pick we like at 211.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Glad that you are a Vikings, a Justin Jefferson guy also, because
sure.
yeah, I'm all about it. I'm all about it this year. I'm sort of the mindset, and I've
Saquon Barkley falling to 5. How can you tell it's a stream draft?
Yeah, this is the ultimate stream draft with Saquon falling.
For the record, I think I would happily click Saquon Barkley at 5 if I was.
One of my earlier stream drafts last year was with John Daigle. And I think I actually made it the title of my video. Like people were furious about our second round pick because we took at the end of the second round, we took Saquon Barkley, and people were just shitting all over. They were like, how could you take Saquon there?
I'm not innocent. I had like probably 3% Saquon Barkley or something last year, but I remember specifically being on streams where we took CeeDee Lamb in the first, and I was like, can we do Barkley, please? Like it's correlated and he goes like late 2. He's fallen, and then they were like, well, what if we just like Devonta Smith instead? Was like typically the answer I would get when I'd be on streams. And it's like, if you think about that actually for like 2 seconds, and you're like, in what world is Devonta Smith ever going to outscore Saquon Barkley? It's one of those like we did in fact jump the shark. Like we took like a fucking 11 point per game projected wide receiver over Saquon Barkley. Miles and other people in the chat are asking if I'm watching hockey. I'm not right now. I'm focused on Neil. I guarantee you it will be on at the bar that I'm playing trivia at in 73 minutes. So I will catch, I think, the third period. Is that accurate?
You are asking the wrong guy.
Once the Leafs and the Jets are out of the mix, like I'll catch the third. Once the Leafs and the Jets are out of the mix, like hockey gets real depressing for me. My thoughts and prayers are with the Oilers. I'd like Canada to win, but like I'm not going to say that I'm that committed to watching every minute of every game. I'm
in Minnesota, and we are, I think, similar to Canada
the state of hockey.
Yeah, we're the you're maybe the country of hockey. We are the state of hockey, and I just never watched hockey. It was not a big part of my childhood. I was always a basketball fan. I was a Bulls fan, not a Timberwolves fan, but now I'm a big Timberwolves fan. So I've never caught the hockey bug.
I've been to every Minnesota major sporting venue. Actually, I've seen a Vikings game at what is it, US Bank? I've seen a Vikings game at US Bank. I've seen a Twins game at the Metrodome. I've also seen a Twins game at Target Field. I've seen multiple T-Wolves games at Target Center, and I've seen a Leafs Wild game in St. Paul, and I'm trying to remember the name of the stadium, but it's Xcel Energy Center. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I've been to one Wild game at the Xcel. A friend of mine just had an extra ticket.
Because I'm from Winnipeg, so I used to go down to Minneapolis like very often. Yeah.
How far is that drive?
About 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours.
It's only 6 hours.
Dude, I just posted. That cannot be common. I mean, maybe it'll get more common as the time goes on, but like the guy that just got a Saquon Barkley, Brock Bowers start.
That is tough. That is tough.
Jealous. All right. I would be I can't see who's there because of your screen. I'd be Bucky here.
Okay, it's Bucky, McBride, Josh Jacobs, Rushy Rice. So Bucky. All right.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Is this sorry? What am I looking at here? Is this the sidekick?
It is a sidekick. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I missed several picks the last time I did one of these streams with guests because they just kept on like not telling me who they wanted it until the time was up. So I decided today I am going to start just queuing up like the top of the sidekick. So I have like worst case scenario.
And are these your rankings uploaded into the sidekick that I'm looking at?
No, it's actually I meant to update them. It is the ETR rankings like maybe slightly
Okay.
modified by me from like
Okay.
a week ago. So it's not even the updated ETR
Okay.
rankings. I think it's probably pretty
Okay.
close to what they are still, but
All right. So it's ETR sidekick rankings.
we know Sidekick is going to update at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
All right. So now we're at Rashee Rice, Josh Jacobs, Marvin Harrison. Rashee Rice goes.
That's too bad. That would have been my pick. I really, really like Rashee Rice.
Me too. I've been pretty bummed to see him moving up because
So
he was
once
losing
Rice,
up
with Rice moving up, this is tough because this is a spot where I actually like hate everyone who is at the lead of the ADP range.
Same.
Like, so like I just take like I would just take Chase Brown, but I know that's like kind of a crazy pick.
I think it's crazy.
I'm fine if you want to take like Jacobs or JSN or something.
I'm game for Chase Brown. I do like one of my hotter takes is that I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to be nearly as good this year, which is maybe like sour grapes because I was so out on him last year, and the reason I was so out on him was I thought Marshawn Lloyd was going to be a big thing, and then of course he was hurt all year. So now I'm like, well, this year it's going to happen, and people who take Josh Jacobs are going to. But
I should have taken more Jacobs last year. I can't remember how much I took. Definitely under 8. I should have taken more because I never liked Lloyd. And like, I remember I was constantly getting into fights with people about Lloyd on like my Dynasty show where like, I was like very against him as a prospect. And I don't know, maybe he's actually good. Who knows? He ended up just getting hurt like 7 different ways. But I remember like it became a thing where at some point I kind of realized like, I don't have a leg to stand on here where I was like, Josh Jacobs is gross. I don't want to take his backup. I'm kind of don't think he's actually going to get that many touches. And then I'm like, this probably will work out better than I'm forecasting for Josh Jacobs. I think I was just surprised that they were so run heavy. Like I thought they would be with Jordan Love coming off a really good year.
I know.
I thought they would actually be pretty like maybe not pass heavy, but at least neutral. And like I was really surprised they were so willing to just ground and pound. I don't think that actually served them very well. So like it was less like that it was more just I thought Josh Jacobs was going to be kind of like a low-ish ceiling, like early down banger guy, who probably wouldn't be that involved in the passing game. But with how run heavy they were and how much of a workhorse he was, it just kind of didn't matter. He was just like piling up a crap ton of touches. So but yeah, 2-3 turn Josh Jacobs, I have like no concerns fading. I don't know. I just feel like he can't really hurt me. Like he could have a totally good season and pay off that price. But I just don't think he can like absolutely kill me at that price. So I'm kind of comfortable fading at the age and coming off the volume that he's coming off of. And that's a whole range of the draft where like, so I draft with my rankings up. So I don't ever look at the ADP. And that third round looks so different when I'm looking at a more conventional set of rankings. Cause like, there's just so many dudes that I haven't taken at all. Like I don't really take Jacobs. I've never taken Tyreek. I don't think I have any Terry. I don't really take JSN. I don't really take Marvin Harrison. I don't really take Kyren Williams. So it's like when I'm getting in that range, it's like I'm staring usually at Chase Brown, Rashee Rice, Breece Hall, Devontae Adams, and then I'm getting into like Hunter and T-Mac. So it's a very different look at the third round.
Are your rankings publicly available?
Yeah. There's like I have them all on a Google sheet that's linked for paid subscribers to Thinking About Thinking.
Okay. I did not realize that. I would have asked you for that. We could have used them if I had thought of that.
I actually appreciate looking at something else for a change. I'm getting sick of staring at the same old list of players.
Nice. Yeah, I think that I actually have pretty similar feelings to you on these players. Like it just gets so gross in that third round there if you don't get the players you want. For a while it was like really easy when Rashee Rice was later, and I would reach like 10 picks to take Rashee Rice, and now it's just like he's gone there. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer there. I kind of like the rookies, Tet McMillan. I know who you like.
I
think he's gone.
He is gone, but
okay.
Yeah, I do. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're in a range. Oh my god. This is okay. So yeah, how do you feel about George Pickens? I know I'm like kind of throwing ADP out the window, but do you have thoughts on him?
He's second here on the list here.
Oh, good.
I am totally fine with George Pickens. I mean, he's moving up. Oh, George Kittle's here. Oh, as well, if you want him.
Yeah, I like both Georges. Yeah.
All right, let's go Pickens.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't actually have a ton of Pickens because he does not rank very well. This might have been I'm pretty sure this is post trade, but I didn't see him towards the top of the list in the ETR rankings. So
Yeah, I
maybe I'm
got a
still
little
seeing that list
lucky
there.
where I thought he was a screaming value when he was on Pitt in like the 7th. So I took him like, I think by the time he got traded, I had like literally 80%. And I'd only done like 10 drafts. But I got very fortunate. And then I still think he's a screaming value personally. I think he's like very comparable to T. Higgins. I think he's like actually a better pick than Devonta Smith. Like if you look at his per route numbers versus Smith's, they're actually pretty similar over the last couple of years. But he's going to be in probably a pass offense that throws 100 more times. So if you just start to look at him versus some of these other wide receiver 2s, I think he's very comparable to Higgins, who goes in like round 2.
Yeah.
So I think Pickens is potentially a pretty big value. I'm a huge fan of his. He's an over 20% guy for me.
Interesting.
Because I mean, you look at like Metcalf, for instance. I don't actually hate Metcalf at price, but like I bet there's. I mean, how many more passes do you think Dallas throws in Pittsburgh this year? 100,
so many more. Yeah. I mean, I don't do projections, so I don't think that way, but yeah, a lot more.
Okay,
right,
I would be probably either Metcalf or I'd be Hurts. I'll leave it up to you. I'm fine with either of those.
Do we want unstacked Hurts? I haven't done a ton of it. I'm theoretically open to it. I'm gonna do Metcalf. He's higher on both of these lists.
Works for me.
And we don't have any. I'm trying to be more open to taking players like Hurts unstacked. It's still really hard for me to get myself to do it, though, admittedly.
Yeah, I don't mind, especially in that circumstance, because we bypass McBride. Kittle will snipe from us, so it's like Goddard is like a totally plausible person to end up on this team anyway. So so you add Hurts, and you could probably backstack with Goddard. Yeah, I think with the rush, I mean, especially with Hurts in particular, like so much of his spike week potential is based specifically on like 1-yard rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
That I don't even like. I mean, sure, he is correlated to Brown and Smith, but like he can have a 40-point game in which AJ Brown has like 2 catches, because the way
Right.
Hurts gets there is with like 2 or 3 tush pushes. So I don't place a huge emphasis on stacking with actually any of the top 4 quarterbacks, because like Daniels has a lot of rushing potential, Lamar has a lot of rushing potential, and then Allen is just like, I mean, he has rushing potential, but also like he can have these games where it's like 7 different guys have 2 receptions and 4 of them have a touchdown and no one has more than 12 points, but you look up and he has 38.
Yeah. It was shocking last year, like how good he was without really, like, Khalil Shakir was good, but he didn't like.
Yeah.
It's
just like, I don't know how many Allen games you see where it's like, oh, Khalil Shakir had 7 for 70. That's 10 and a half points on Underdog. Oh, Dalton Kincaid had 2 for 22 and 1.
Mac Hollins
and then
has
you're
3
like,
catches.
And then it's like, Josh Palmer had 1 catch for 33 yards and 1 touchdown. It's like none of their wide receivers hit 15 points, but Josh Allen got there.
It's one of those things that, like, last year drafting, I could not even conceive of that being the case, of like Josh Allen smashing and not having anybody that you really wanted from the receivers, and not just like for the season, but like game to game. It was just like there's nobody that you want somehow, and he's doing really well. Just kind of blew my mind. I don't think I do know what that is. Tempranillo.
Bindles was saying I need a Vape God hat. I didn't know that was a hat, but apparently Coach Speak Index has it. I can say that next Wednesday I will be drafting a best ball team with Coach Speak Index.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to tune into that, I'll bring the vape.
He had me on as, I think, one of his first guests, and then like every guest he's had on since me, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is just like, he's getting everybody in the industry. And I'm like, he had Field Yates on today, Justin. I think both Field Yates and Justin Herzog on today, but like, yeah, he's getting after it with some of the guests he's getting.
Absolutely.
Good for him. Yeah, it's a fun show. He's a sharp guy, and like everybody, I think, uses the Coach Speak Index. I assume you do. I guess maybe I don't know for sure. Maybe you have other. Maybe you outsource elsewhere.
Index. Yeah.
Great work there. When UFL draft, you got to ask Underdog. Don't ask us, because I'd be all about it if we could get a UFL best ball. By the way, the player that I was talking about, who I knew Jacob wanted, is Travis Hunter. Who you've done the Travis Hunter.
I planted my slappy flag
a few times.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that too. The slappy discussion. That was fun.
it is tough to be on a official show of ship chasing network and still be the most slappy person on a give and take. That takes a lot of work. So
Yeah,
when you're on ship chasing and you're the Travis Hunter guy, that shows a real commitment to
you are the
slap it up.
slappy god, the slappiest
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, congrats to you.
Okay, this is a really disgusting range of wide receivers.
Godwin, I was gonna say Godwin. I actually
can you
don't
tap
mind.
to ADP for a quick sec? Just
Yeah.
see what we're looking at. Yuck.
I see.
God.
I don't mind Judy.
Yeah,
Is
that's
Jawan
probably
Jennings gone already?
He is. This is
Yeah.
this is brutal. This is like usually I get one of Olave or Henderson or Jennings to make it to me in this slot, and I'm pretty okay with all of that. Once those guys all go, it is like this is a big pile of no thanks for me, dog. Like it's like you're doing probably washed Deebo, injured Godwin, Judy with 7 different quarterbacks, off of like a 50-year breakout, unstacked Joe Burrow, and then like the running backs are like fine, but I still feel like it's a pretty big drop off from like the Henderson, Connor, Kamara to the Judkins, Johnson, Monty, Pollard group. So it's it gets discouraging at the 6-7 turn. Like I have someone in the chat, Jim, saying so I end up with way too much golden. That's fair. I have like 28% Jaden Reed like against my will. Like I don't like I like Jaden Reed. I don't like him 28% level. It's just I hate everybody else so much.
I mean, is this the range where we just need to throw out ADP and just like scroll down, get our guy? Like, is there anybody if we scroll down more?
Yeah, like Reed's my favorite player here. But I don't know. Is there who do you like? If you could take anyone in the universe without ADP, who'd be your guy?
I've been taking Stephon Diggs here, but I don't love it. Like I do have some concerns.
Sure,
there.
Why not? I have concerns, but I'll draft the Stephon Diggs share. I mean, it gives me an excuse to draft Drake May. I'm okay with that. Pearsall's fine too. Do we have any stacks going that would be helpful to our team at all?
No stacks really. We have Jefferson, so we could take Laporta for the Vikings.
Yeah, let's do that. That's actually kind of fun. Yeah, especially since we didn't do the Hurts thing. Yeah, let's do Laporta.
All right,
good call. Yeah, there we go.
Love it. Okay.
Okay, so we had a little bit of Vikings. We have a little bit of Vikings, Detroit. And we got like we got the Pittsburgh Cleveland stack going. That's the one everybody wants.
We could have had Deebo with Pickens too. So that we had multiple.
That's true. That would have been fun. Yeah.
Deebo falls to 76, thanks to us. So
have you taken much Deebo? He has not been a guy that I've been trying to take.
He's one of those that like if I have Jaden Daniels, I'll take him every time. If I get him in the right range, otherwise not a ton.
I'll take him with Daniels because I never take McLaurin. So I'll take Daniels and then add Deebo later. Sometimes.
I have heard people make the bull case for him, like he fits the scheme really well. He's different than Terry McLaurin. Really well. And so maybe it's possible that he's not washed, goes to a new offense. Maybe this reinvigorates him. I don't know. But
I think it's totally possible. It's just, but like the history of post age 28 wide receivers who have big drop-offs, like there's some that bounce back, but for the most part, once it just falls off a cliff entirely. Like it's just not the bounce backs at running back are way more common than the bounce backs at wide receiver in that.
Is that really? I would not have thought that.
Yeah. No, people don't think that, but it's true. Like you'll get bounce backs wide receivers that are younger, but like once you're post 28, it's the black marble theory. It's very much like you should basically, as long as a wide receiver is still good, you should kind of just keep expecting them to be good. But then once they're not, it tends to go really, really fast and not
like Cooper Kupp.
Recover. I mean, like Cooper Kupp, yeah. Example. So I tend to fade these players pretty systemically, and I'm going to be wrong sometimes, but I think I come out ahead. With running back, it's actually weirdly more common to get some bounce backs. You think of like recent examples, like Jacobs, for instance, like his efficiency fell off that last year in Las Vegas, comes back. Barkley,
even Saquon, like to an extent.
Yeah, their efficiency was never bad like Jacobs was, but it dipped and then it came back. James Conner's efficiency dipped the last year in Pittsburgh, and then he's been great in Arizona. So it's a little bit more common. I think it's just because it's a more situationally dependent position
That makes sense.
You'll have good years and bad years that don't necessarily reflect them being that much different. Whereas at wide receiver, you'll have efficiency declines on occasion, but if the volume earnings stay stable, that tends to be a bit of a signal that they're still good. Their situation just got worse. Like if you think of Devontae Adams the last couple of years, like his efficiency has gone down a little bit, but the volume has stayed really strong. So I tend to be more interested in, okay, now he's got Matthew Stafford. I'm not out on him. Like it's not like I'm out on all old players, but like a Tyreek Hill to me is like a flashing red light. Yep. Stay away from me.
Same. I barely draft Tyreek Hill, and I get it. Like people make the case of like he could be the wide receiver one. Like it is within his range of outcomes. We have seen it 2 years ago. So like we're not.
And it is. I could be wrong. Like I was a full 0 on Cup last year, and that was like a very scary thing as like his ADP kept going up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like your point about like the 4% exposure blanket. The example that you give of like 60-40, always taking the 60 guy is like, man, that scares me a little bit. But some of these where it's like I feel the odds are lower. All right. So we could reach for Dak here. By ADP, it's Cup, Burden, Higgins, Kelsey.
Yeah, I'd be Higgins probably, I'd probably be Higgins, and then I'd probably be looking at the running backs like Scatabo or Mason.
Yeah, I like that group. All right, do you want to go Higgins first, and then see if one of them comes back to us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a pretty big Jordan Mason bull this year, which I don't know if you saw. Gritty is predicting that actually AJ Dillon going to outscore Jordan Mason this year. So
where's this AJ Dillon stuff coming from?
Do you know who Gritty is?
Yes.
Okay.
He likes quarterbacks.
I have no idea where it comes from, but that's one of my favorite takes that I've seen. Yeah, I'm a mega Jordan Mason bull.
Possible.
It could happen if Jordan Mason just gets hurt and does nothing. And AJ Dillon scores fantasy points, which I don't know that I'm expecting.
Yeah. I continually forget that AJ Dillon's in the NFL.
I know. Yeah. I don't even know what team he's on right now. Eagles?
He's on the Eagles.
I think. Yeah,
on the Eagles. Yeah. I mean, I think he's probably pretty alive to be healthy and active. I don't think he plays special teams.
Yeah. No, I'd be pretty surprised if he does anything. Scatabo goes. All right, Mason Dulotomsky left him for us. Is that our pick?
Yeah, that works for me.
Like I think the coach speak is kind of what sells me on Jordan Mason. Like part of it is like his explosive run rate was like 7.8% last year, which was pretty good, like among the league leaders if you have at least 50 rushes. Part of me is like, well, that's just he was on San Francisco too, like kind of hard to replicate the San Francisco offense, but he was good within that offense. At least he was pretty good. But then it's like the coach speak is, yeah, we could really use help with the goal line. Like it sounded like they brought him in specifically because they need help at the goal line. And then it's like, oh, Aaron Jones, we don't really want him to be a full-time bell cow running back. We want kind of a 1A, 1B situation. So it's kind of like, if he's the 1B with the goal line role, like, I'm
really exciting. And Aaron Jones is like got to be near the top of the list for what running backs most likely to spend a 4-week IR stint with a pulled hamstring.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. Like if we're doing a snake draft of running backs most likely for there to be a post in week 4 that says insert running back missed practice Thursday with a hamstring injury. Undergoing MRI. Aaron Jones is going in the first round for sure.
Yeah, he's like 31 these days. I don't even know how old he is. I should know this as a Vikings fan. But
he's 30 right now. He's going to turn 31 in season.
And he's just got a lot of miles on him, and he has kind of an injury history.
And efficiency's been declining on him too. He for years was like the most efficient running back in the world. That's not been the case the last 2 years. He's been so. I think he's fine. I think he'll have a role. I think he'll be the passing down guy. But I bet Mason handles like 40 or 50% of the carries.
Yeah. Terrence Charles says Tyreek is the Barkley and Henry play from last year. So this is why he's going as high as he is, and like that is like the case. Like I can see it
totally. I think I get it. I mean, I get it's the play in terms of it's like a guy that's shown a really huge ceiling in the past. I think the difference is, I mean, those guys went to different teams, different position. So I don't know, just tough one for me. But I get it. It's not hard for me to envision how the fade is really painful. That's for sure.
It's also, I do think like the Tua situation scares me, and I mean, it was scary before, and then he came back and had a really good year, and the whole offense was great after like we already had concerns about the concussions, but now it's like extra scary because it's like literally feels like it's one concussion away, and I don't know, it didn't seem like he was like trying any harder to not get concussed. Like it kind of felt like he was like putting himself in harm's way a lot last year when I was like, oh my God, you need to stop doing that. Maybe that's just my impression based on like a couple plays that I was like, what are you doing, Tua? You can't be risking yourself like this. But I don't know. It felt like the entire team fell apart without Tua last year. So I'm pretty nervous about that. Should I read off our team?
Read it off.
So we have no quarterbacks yet, but we have Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, and Jordan Mason looking good at running back. Wide receivers, we have Justin Jefferson, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Jerry Jeudy, and Jaden Higgins. And then tight end, Sam Laporta. So we're pretty balanced. Is this typically how you like to build? Like give yourself a lot of outs at different positions?
This is pretty similar to my typical build from that position, especially. Like I mean, when you get to the spot, I don't know how the ETR ranks will look, but like once Trey Harris goes off the board, I probably see a wide receiver on my screen like once or twice until like the 160s. So to me, it's like pretty essential for me to at least get the 4 or 5 by that point, because I ain't drafted any wide receivers for a while now. So like, you know, at this point in time, like we've got our 5 as far as I'm concerned, and we'll fill up the rest of the room with the tier of, you know, once you get to like the Dobbs, Palmer, Pat Bryant, Jalen Coker, Darius Slade, and whoever else in that range. But like, I'm not messing around with, you know, Keon Coleman and Rashid Shaheed, and like this group is just not really all that appealing to me. This is a range of the draft where I'm targeting quarterbacks, if need be, running backs, and tight ends.
No, I'm sort of surprised here, not Rashid Shaheed. Is that just a Tyler Shuck thing?
Maybe I should be. I don't know. I've kind of just like always had a blind spot with Rashid Shaheed. Okay. Maybe it's like I don't know. To me, he's just like not really a volume earner. He's old, not old, but he's not young. And he has a shitty quarterback. He's coming off a serious injury. It's just, all right. It's not.
So Dak went one pick before us.
Okay. So Goff is probably a guy we got to collect here. Right.
Yeah. We go Goff.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
I assume you like Kyle Williams. Is that an accurate assumption?
Yeah. I mean, the reason I like Kyle Williams, though, probably isn't very applicable on this team. Because I would say like it's less that I like Kyle Williams. It's more that like if I'm committed to drafting 22% Drake May, which like, you know, you don't get a contract from ship chasing without agreeing to that clause.
Obligated.
Then it's like I gotta pair him with somebody.
All right, so I've queued up JJ McCarthy. He is the top of the sidekick, which I love to see.
He doesn't go for a while. This is interesting that
he probably won't come back to us.
I tend to be a little bit more risky because I look at this like, well, I guess you could look at this two ways. The way I would draft it, if it was just me, I live my life on the edge, I guess. I'm not taking McCarthy or Stroud here, and I'm saying I'll bet that one of them comes back to me. That being said, I don't know if there's anyone who I actually care about that's available here.
That's the thing. It's like
kind of not. Yeah. So
I might like and hope that
that's Kirk's. Yeah. I might take like Ramondre, but you know what? No, let's just do McCarthy because we're probably going to want to do 3 quarterbacks anyways, right?
Probably. I'm also a mega McCarthy bull, so it's sort of painful for me to hear you give the anti-taking McCarthy stance. I'm just like, no, it's
not an anti-McCarthy stance. It's more just like that. I
you want to push it. You want to push
it. The way I would have probably done that. Now, I agree. There wasn't really a great alternative, but the way I look at it is like, I'll take Goff, then I'll take kind of whoever's the highest non-running back on my board. I'll bet that one of McCarthy or Stroud makes it back to me. That might have been wrong, but that's the bet I would make. And then I'm looking at, okay, we got a late Rodgers stack with Metcalf, and that's our third.
Yeah. So it always comes down to like, do I like the available picks though too, which I think is kind of the thought process you just went through, which is like, all right, we should push it, but also I don't really want anybody here, so maybe not, essentially.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, yeah, because that range, usually when I'm in that exact dilemma, the guys I'm looking at are Tootin, Kyle Williams, maybe a tight end. In this case, we had Laporta, so the tight end wasn't really all that pressing. Tootin was gone. Kyle Williams was gone. So yeah, I think my highest rank probably would have been like Ramondre, which is like, okay. But then you're just taking Ramondre ahead of ADP, which like
Right.
kind of defeats the purpose. So
Yeah. I gotta ask, are you participating in the Herzig drafts, the best ball expert thing where
yeah,
you have to like pick?
I'm a draftable player. I didn't
You
do
are.
anything to become a draftable player, but yeah, if you want to draft Sander 26, it made it onto the spreadsheet. I have no idea who put me on the spreadsheet. I didn't put me on the spreadsheet, but someone did.
Do you know
I
your
doubt it's
prices?
Herzig. I don't think I've ever talked to Herzig in my life, although I would love to. Do I know my prices? Let me take a look right now.
Okay.
I it shouldn't be that high. If it's high, I would strongly suggest a 4% exposure blanket at most.
I don't even know. Can we draft more than one team? I don't even know how the
I have
thing
no
works
idea.
yet. I've been
I was just making
enjoying
a
talking
joke.
about it, but I also like.
Sorry, what's the? I've looked at it once. What is it? FantasyBestBall.com.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
seems to be like
FantasyBestBall.com.
ungoogleable.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
FantasyBestBall.com.
not doing well in the Google SEO. So
Yeah.
sorry to Herzig for outing that, but
Yeah, FantasyBestBall.com.
okay, FantasyBestBall.com. Here we go. Player pool. Let's take a look. So yeah, here I am. So I'm 8K on the same price as same price as Davis Maddock. I mean, I'm backing myself on that one for sure.
I thought he was
I'm also the
8,500.
same
He's
price.
8K. Okay.
He's 8K. I think he might have come down in price. I'm not sure. So he's 8K. I'm 8K. Ron Stewart is also 8K. So we got a group of very online slappies right there at 8K. That you can choose from. Where are you at? Let me take a look.
I'm at 7,200, which I was
7,200. That's
so
great
insulted,
value.
so insulted by that.
Yeah, I mean,
But
no one should click me at 8K if you're available at 7,200. I'll definitely say that.
we
we're
are on the
clock?
board, and then I will. Yeah. So we
Oh, what a disgusting group of names.
draft I'm sort of
I'm
into
assuming
Tucker Craft.
Stroud clearly did not make it back.
Stroud
Yeah,
did
okay,
not make it
Kraft is
back.
fine. Okay, well, good call then by you. So yeah, let's do Kraft.
All right, good. I'm glad you're not opposed to Tucker Craft at least.
Okay, so we're done at tight end then. At this point, we're gonna need to. Okay, so we're done at tight end. Our quarterbacks are Goff and McCarthy. I'd probably like a third, but we can probably do like a late Rodgers.
Rodgers.
So,
oh no, are we doing Rodgers? I hate that.
With Metcalf in the last round, you wouldn't do that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it yet, but I get it. That's probably the play.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like he's always available in the 18th round. He's gonna play in Pittsburgh. I feel like 80% sure of that.
Yeah.
And we have Metcalf with Judy. I think it's like pretty reasonable. Okay, so we got so that'll be a 3. What are we going to be? A 3-5-8-2? Maybe? Does that sound right?
Yeah, 3-5-8-2 or 3-6-7-2.
Yeah, that could be possible.
One of those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think
I think the 3 and the 2 part. I think I'm good with.
Okay. How do we feel about like I don't know if you like any of these wide receivers. I don't yet. I prefer like Benson, all 4 of those running backs. I prefer over any of the wide receivers. I don't know if there's one that you like more than anybody else. I don't care enough to like force one.
What do you think the odds are that Garendo is the RB2 here?
I think probably like 70 to 75%.
I think that's good.
That's why I like Algier the most, because I think he's like 100%. But
that is true. I almost always take Algier here, so I'm going to do that.
We can take Garendo if you want.
All right. We're doing Garendo. You gave me permission. I'm trying to like. I've taken a ton of Algier already, and I kind of think like if Garendo is the RB2, that's a smash pick. Just like it. I mean, it was really Jordan Mason didn't end up totally smashing last year. Early on, he looked great. I was actually just looking at this today. It was like he had 2 games of like 21 plus fantasy points in the first 4 weeks, and then it was kind of like he's like semi-usable for a while. But I think Garendo like could be the smash if
it's a group of running backs that I like change the order of in my rankings almost every week. Because like it's like Algier is the one that I'm 100% sure is the RB2. I'm 100% sure that I'd be very excited to have him on my teams if Bijan got hurt for a sustained period of time. But like, not that you can predict injuries, but Bijan just seems like one of the less likely running backs to get hurt. Just like he's big, he's young. It can happen to anybody at any time, but I wouldn't say there's any heightened risk. And then also, like, there's no chance that it's going to be like, now it's a committee. Like, Algier is going to get as much as he's gotten and nothing more. And then, Garendo is interesting because the CMC definitely has heightened injury risk, but I'm not that sure he's the RB2 over Jordan James. I think he is. Benson, I like. Benson's interesting in that, like, I'm very sure he's the RB2. I also think it's like more possible with with Garendo or Algier that it ends up being a committee by the end of the year. I don't think it's likely, but it's more plausible. But I have no fucking clue if he's any good. It's also possible that, like, Connor does get hurt. You think you're sitting on the golden ticket, and then all of a sudden you have like an inefficient, scrubby back who comes off the field every third down for God knows who. So that's possible too. Bigsby's interesting in that he's the most likely to have a role of probably any of those backs. But I don't really know what that role is, and I don't really know what the upside is because I think he like probably needs 2 injuries to have like a workhorse role because he's just so limited in the passing game. So I haven't taken him a lot. And then Rachaad White's the other guy in that group who I just like think sucks ass, but I acknowledge like he has a very fantasy friendly skill set. So once we're in the group, like Rachaad White's kind of where I've always wanted Rachaad White to be, which is a like all-purpose backup with pass down work, which is like the ideal of Rachaad White. Like now he can be that really, really fun backup where Bucky Irving gets hurt and you're logging into DraftKings and Rachaad White's practicing or projecting for 18.6 points because he has that pass game upside.
I think I've been afraid of Rachaad White. I think because there was just one play. I don't remember what the game was, but I just remember him late in the season fumbling on like a crucial play.
Against Dallas.
Like, he's dead now. There's never going to play him again. It was kind of my.
It felt like to me the idea was like it felt like the team was very aware that Bucky was better than him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But they felt like they were like kind of keeping White in this role because they felt like they owed it to him. And then once he fumbled, they were like, all right, now we actually have an excuse to just do what we kind of want to do anyway. It's like how I felt about it. My concern with White is like the way he's billed by his backers this year, and I'm low on him, or I haven't taken a lot of him. It's like the idea is he's going to have some sort of pass down role always. And then if Bucky goes down, he's an all-purpose smash. I think that's probably the case. I wouldn't be that surprised if it's like actually he's just still the third down back and it's Sean Tucker that's actually going to be the ball.
Oh, we're on the clock. I didn't even realize. Okay. Are we sleepwalking here or I'd be happy with that's Roschon like Johnson is sleepwalking.
Oh, I like Roschon even more. But I like Eckler too. Yeah.
I think that was ADP chasing, right? The conversation about sleepwalking your way to 20%.
Yeah, exactly.
Roschon Johnson or something.
I have a lot of Roschon.
Me too. I mean we're all doing.
I think unrelated good news for Roschon Johnson. J.K. Dobbins visiting with the Broncos. That's
right. That is good news.
Good news for Roschon Johnson.
I wanted to get back. I was going to ask you a question about the Herzig contest. And first of all, I am not at all offended to be cheaper than you in this contest. I'm joking about being offended, but I was like, man, I'm just like scrolling. Where the hell is my name? I was like 7,200. I'm lower than I would like to be. But I also only advanced 14 teams last year, Jacob. So really tough to argue with it at that point. Here is a question I was going to ask you. Do you think we should be correlating our teams? Meaning, should I be taking shady advice with Sacrilegious, with Pat, with yourself, with myself, everybody who's using the sidekick, and those who are true believers? Should we be correlating our teams in that way?
Oh, like to be correlated for fantasy best ball?
Yeah, for the fantasy best ball.
That's it's something to consider. I can't say that I've given it a lot of thought, but I think that's the kind of next level thinking that shows why you should be more than 7,200. That's for sure.
Thank you.
All right, so I think it's probably time to revisit the wide receiver position. We're going to need at least 2 more. So
ADP.
So we have. There's no Lions or Vikings. Who's our other quarterback? We have both sides of the game.
Both of them, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine. My highest ranked here, I think, would be Alec Pierce. That might just be like blatant homerism, but he's a format fit, and he's going to run a lot of routes.
He's been undeniably pretty good. Let's do it. What are your thoughts
Sidekick really
on?
wants us to go 3-5-7-3, I think, hey? Because they want us to get the double stack with Rodgers.
That's probably right.
Defensible, I guess. Yeah, probably should have given that more consideration.
So now that we have taken Alec Pierce, would you consider Daniel Jones? I forget where you landed on this
Oh,
conversation.
I strongly consider Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a self-hating Colts fan. Look, I do not want to watch Daniel Jones play a single snap with a horseshoe on his helmet, but I think he is. If I had to bet my life on who the Colts starting quarterback is in Week 1, I would write up my will very expeditiously, but I would pick Daniel Jones. And if I had to bet my life on who the Colts starting quarterback is in Week 17, I'd be grateful to have some more time to settle that will up, but I would still also click Daniel Jones.
Really? Okay. So you think he's?
Yeah, I haven't clicked. Like I have Daniel Jones ranked in my top 200. I don't have Anthony Richardson ranked. I'll put it that way.
So I seem to recall that I don't know if you were part of this conversation, but the conversation being like, I think that he is less likely to start in week 17 if he starts the season or something like that. I think about like maybe that was about Anthony Richardson or both. I don't know.
Yeah, my like I don't know. My like joking stance is that I think whoever starts week 1 also starts week 17 because they're both so bad that there's going to be 2 benchings. So I think the week 1 starter gets benched, someone else comes in, gets benched, and then it goes back to the original. Like the real answer is like, don't Galaxy brain it. Like you want the quarterback who's going to start week 1. You would just rather have the quarterback who's going to start week 1, and I don't know who that is. But I would just bet on Jones. I'm totally willing to change that opinion based on more information, but I think that the team's view is we're going to give ARich a chance, but I don't think that this competition is going to be rigged for him in any way. I think ARich has to legitimately outplay Daniel Jones at camp to win the job. I don't think this is a thing where like he is going to be the starting quarterback unless it's a disaster. I think that he has to actually be better. Now, that's not a high bar. It's not that hard to be better than Daniel Jones, but I think he has to actually be better. Nothing I have read from any Colts reporting has suggested that that it's a fake competition. It's a very real competition.
And you think that Daniel Jones is just more likely to win that competition?
I just think that the team signaled that they don't like Anthony Richardson very much last year. I think they signaled that again by giving Daniel Jones a contract that could earn him $17 million. And I mean, you hear the quotes, like, right, like Steichen had that quote. They said, who's going to win the quarterback competition? He said, whoever's more consistent. You know, he said, it's one thing to have the splash plays, but I care about who's getting first down after first down. Is that how I would judge the quarterback competition? No. The way I would look at it is we have 2 shitty quarterbacks. So I want the one who's going to give me splash plays. But I don't run the Colts.
So the question that I just put up on screen was, do Tomsky, why take Jones? He can play 10 games and have less fantasy points than ARich in 6 games. I mean,
he doesn't actually score fantasy points. It's like a fake thing. He
scores and Daniel
like
Jones
points
has
once every 5 games. Otherwise, he just sucks ass.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that is that's incorrect on both fronts.
It's like the most theoretical fantasy player. Sorry, I'm.
Ooh, do you like Tesla for our team?
No.
With I haven't taken like any Tesla, but I thought maybe on this team.
Can we look at the wide receivers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what are our options here?
This
is Brown gone? Yeah, he is. That sucks. Oh my god. Okay, I might be like Tutu is probably my highest rated, or Lockett or Wicks. I don't know if you like any of them.
We go.
We can do it. We can do with like our very last pick, Slaw or Felton. I think.
Okay. Yeah, we're at 2-5. Or
so do you want
to take?
Yeah, I would do Rodgers at 17, and then I would queue up to Slaw and Felton as one of them being our round 18 pick.
Okay. Love it. That works for me. I also saw, I think somebody was sort of asking the question, do you want Alec Pierce if Daniel Jones is the quarterback? Wasn't it sort of Anthony Richardson, like they really worked well together last year? Or am I kind of, do you think I have that wrong?
Yeah. So, he had success with both quarterbacks. Like he had his biggest games with Flacco. Like the game against Jacksonville where he went crazy was a Flacco game, but he had a few shot plays with ARich. I think there's something to that yeah, Daniel Jones is more conservative. And you're probably more excited about his outlook with Anthony Richardson. But I don't know. The way I'm just looking at the Colts thing is like, frankly, I'm not taking either quarterback unless it's like the 18th round and it's my third quarterback and I have no other options. So I'm not like, when I click the wide receivers, the way I'm viewing it is just, I'm not going to worry about who the quarterback is. I'm not trying to stack the Colts. I just think they're all pretty decent values where they go. And then I'll just let the quarterback situation figure itself out.
Before our pick comes up, do we prefer Aaron Rodgers over Daniel Jones? Just want to double check.
I do. I do. I mean, I think Daniel Jones is like at best 55-60% to start week 17.
Okay.
And Rodgers, I mean, it's just what percentage do you think it is that he signs with the Steelers? I'm like 85.
And makes it through the whole year. I mean, this guy's my age. I don't know. You
fair.
haven't reached 40 yet, so maybe you just don't know what it feels like to be 40,
That's fair.
Jacob. But man, I couldn't have when I was 25 either, but I couldn't NFL quarterback. That'd be just brutal. What's that guy doing? Yeah, I do like my JJM.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, but I think that is my first share of Aaron Rodgers. I don't think I have any Daniel Jones either. Oh, it is 8:30 or 9:30 Eastern. We do have Nez here, but do we want to bring Nez in? Like my whole rule is
bring
don't
Nez
bring
in.
him.
I'm gonna jump off pretty shortly because I got 29 minutes until question 1.
All right,
so you can bring in Nez.
Oh,
look,
it's
Nez is here, and we just stacked the Steelers Browns game. Nez,
exactly.
I know. I mean, I don't. You couldn't see me in the green room, Jacob. I was smiling ear to ear the whole time, like down here, just like yes, yeah. I think Rodgers sucks too, but yes, good work.
Nez, do you want Rodgers on the Steelers?
I'm indifferent because I don't think he's very good. I want the Steelers to suck really bad.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're dealing with two fans of teams that have extremely depressing quarterback situations. Like we are discussing, like what do you want out of the Colts and Steelers quarterback situations? I think both of our answers would probably be in a perfect world. We want like Riley Leonard and Will Howard to start and our teams to go 2-15, but that's not the world we're living in.
No. For my bags, I would prefer Anthony Richardson to start 17 games, but yeah. That is definitely wishful thinking at this point.
I mean, as a Vikings fan, it's not like I don't understand that feeling. We have been pretty dire with the quarterbacks at various times throughout the past decade.
We're in our Tavares Jackson era.
Yeah, right. I mean, best of luck. Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
And like right now, it's like we have so much hope because we haven't seen JJ McCarthy yet. We have no idea if he's actually going to be any good. Really like polarizing opinions on him.
He'll be good. It doesn't even matter. It's all a big scam anyway.
I mean, exactly. That's my stance essentially. Yeah.
I'm just drafting. I'm not drafting JJ McCarthy at pick 130. I'm drafting Kevin O'Connell. That's just how I view it.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel too, and I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I was very aggressively in on scam Darnold last year. So
I would have been, except for I thought it was JJ McCarthy until like late August when he got hurt. So it was like,
right.
That was brutal. Nez, were you taking Vikings quarterbacks last year?
I was taking JJ McCarthy. Yeah, we had Hayden Winks on our show a few times, and he was like, "Hey, I think Sam Darnold, is a good pick." And I'm like, maybe Hayden, and it turned out he was a great pick. And I missed out.
Winks has always been like kind of a Darnold truther a little bit.
I know. And now I'm kind of wondering if he's okay in Seattle, but that might be a bridge too far. I'm wondering.
I took a little bit of McCarthy last year, but I just didn't think it was necessary because like you could just get May and Bo Nix like in the last couple rounds last year, and I was like, I'll just take them. I'm more sure they're going to start, and I like them more. Mm-hmm. So that was more what I was doing. Yeah, I'm good with the slaw. So I got lucky, and then once the injury happened, I just like hammered Sam Darnold in like every draft. So
smart.
That I remember
that was very smart. Yeah.
So that was like once it became clear that it was going to be Darnold, I was pretty in on that scenario. I mean, it didn't matter because I had like 2% Derrick Henry and 3% Saquon Barkley. But
right. We were all dead.
Man.
Yeah.
Nez, I don't remember your teams overall. I know that you were very in on Bijan Robinson, which I think worked out pretty well. I also know that you were with me on Khalil Herbert, which just
did not
our graves.
Yeah. We had so many pure runouts for Khalil Herbert, and wow. Yeah, I guess that guy actually was just not good at football. I should have.
That was like my first time avoiding the Khalil Herbert landmine on the Colts now, by the way, which is really, really fun for me. Last year was honestly, it was like I felt like it was one of the best seasons I've ever played in rounds 10 through 18. And it just was so irrelevant because all the wide receivers I like early got hurt and I was low on Henry and Barkley. So it just didn't really matter. But like I think Bucky Irving was my most drafted running back. I had tons of Chase Brown. Brock Bowers, my most drafted tight end. So it's like things could have gone really well in a different world, but like, there's only so much Rashee Rice you could draft and and come out and live to tell the tale, right?
I'm very fortunate in that I just got everything wrong last year, so no regrets for me.
There you
go. I'm joking because but the things I got right were like Rashee Rice, Chris Godwin, Rashid Shaheed. Felt like it was like anything that I did get right was still wrong because of injuries, but I mostly just got a lot of stuff wrong last year. So no, none of those.
I'm running to trivia, but Nez, I will leave this show in your very capable hands. Neil, be careful with the wine glasses for the rest of the night. We don't want to have another situation.
Luckily, I don't have
thanks, Ton, for having me. Thinking. You guys have a blast of a draft, and wish you guys luck.
All right,
peace, Jacob.
See ya.
Good luck. Nez, so did you catch the beginning of the show what he's referring to? Have you seen the clip? I don't know, of me just completely knocking over a double glass of wine?
No, I didn't see it. No, not a double.
Yeah, I started the show. I was doing an intro. I was like, I hadn't even brought Jacob in yet. And then, but I did the thing where like I had YouTube open on my phone because I was like playing around with something in there. So I heard my voice and it was like, where the hell is my voice coming from? And I saw it was on my, so I turned and it was a giant glass of wine. It was supposed to be my glass of wine for the entire 4-hour night. I was like, okay, I'll have 2 glasses of wine to last me these 4 hours because like it gets warmer. Red wine is kind of good that way. Like it gets warmer, it doesn't matter. So yeah, it was brutal. But I just continued talking. Like I didn't even stop for a minute.
Dude.
I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then I brought Jacob, and he was like, dude, did you just knock over a big old glass? And it was like, yeah, shattered, like wine all over the floor, wine glass shattered across me, behind my chair.
Luckily, did you take a second to clean it up?
So yeah, he encouraged me. He was like, Neil, I think like you have carpet down there. I have hardwood floors. But yeah, it was good. I also my wife had run. I couldn't really hear her through my headphones, but then I heard her. I was saying I might want to clean this up. I hear my wife going, "Yes." So I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You need to clean that up." So I did. I took a couple of minutes. Jacob vamped for me, but it was brutal. It was brutalness.
Dude, that's awful. That's I hate that for you. I'm really sorry.
It was pretty rough. But everything's good now. I don't have wine, but I'm pretty happy with. I've still got a full glass of water. So happy with that. Happy that you showed up in flannel tonight. Love to see that.
Come on, man. Of course, I understood the assignment. Do you need? Yeah. Well, I mean, you were running around cleaning up wine and stuff. Do you need to take a second to give yourself like a triple pour or something, or you just just taking the L?
I mean, we've only got one remaining red wine glass in the house, so I don't know if my wife would let me have that wine glass at this point. We've broken literally all of them. We had 2 left. I just broke one of them, so no, I'm good. I'll stick with water for now. Okay. Maybe later I'll go grab something, but yeah,
I'm joining you on the water train, so you're not alone.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that. I guess I'll read off Jacob. I'll read off our team real quick, and then you and I will jump into a draft. So Jacob and I finished with Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, and you can grade this for me, Nez. Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Running back, we have Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, Jordan Mason, Isaac Guerrero, Roschon Johnson. Wide receiver, we have Justin Jefferson, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Jerry Jeudy, Jaden Higgins, Alec Pierce, Tutu Atwell, and Isaac Tesla. And at tight end, we have Sam Laporta. So we got 2 of our quarterbacks in the same game. Jared Goff paired up with Sam Laporta and Isaac Tesla. We've got JJ with Jordan Mason and Justin Jefferson. So those are our 2 double stacks. And then we just have Rodgers with a one-off DK Metcalf, Jerry Jeudy coming back in that game as well. So some nice correlation here. I don't know. How do you feel about this team, Nez?
I do like pretty much everybody on here. I think my only gripe, if I was to nitpick, would be I like the Tesla pick for the correlation with Goff. I think I would make Tutu a running back, even though the options aren't great. I probably would have made this 3-6-7 too, but that is the only hole I can really poke in this. I take a lot of these guys that you guys drafted, so I like it a lot.
Are you kind of a running back, bro, Nez? I listened to at least part of. I think I listened to like maybe before you got into the draft. You were on Pat Mayo's show talking about the eliminator, and I think I've heard you talk about many times like the running backs just project better. Like do you consider yourself kind of a running back bro in general? Like are you an elite running back guy, or is that just for the eliminator format where it kind of makes more sense?
I'm very pro running back in the eliminator for sure. I think that just is like makes a ton of sense intuitively. I tried to be more of a running back bro last year in BBM, but I didn't do it with the guys who mattered. I sort of am like counterculture RB bro, just because I know that a lot of people, that I think are sharp don't necessarily do that. And I like to try to build sharper running back heavy teams. But I think I'm more balanced, to be honest, like for a boring answer, but I do lean more pro running back in pretty much just like all facets, just because it's kind of fun to go to bat for them. Because if I don't, who will?
At least relative to other streamers, you're going to bat for the running backs. Okay, well that's good that they have somebody supporting them. All right, we are going to jump into a draft. I'm going to enter it on my phone because I've been having the issues getting in. Otherwise, it's going to be a Ball Mania 30-second draft for those who are wanting to get in with us. I'll let you know I'm there now.
I see this is like draft number 6 for you, I think.
This is I've only done streams so far. People have asked me, like, are you still planning on streaming all 150? I'm not, but I'm like leaving the option open to like do content all of them, I guess.
Yeah.
One of those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. I'm like right there with you. I think I only have 4 or 5 done of BBM so far. I've got a lot of slow drafts going, and I will get there. I will get there. I just think right now I'm leaning more August, probably for me. It's just like anytime that I want to draft, I have like 20 slow draft picks to make, so I just do those instead.
Yeah, I do a ton of slow drafts, and I also like, I don't know if you feel this way, but I think I'm just a better drafter in August, September. Like I think that if I were not streaming, I would do the vast majority of my drafts then, just because I think I'm better with the information edge than like trying to predict how things are going to change. I think a lot of people are really good at like predicting ADP shifts and like what could happen and stuff, and that's not my strength. I'm just better at having the information.
No, 100%. Like I'm okay with sacrificing CLV and like in unattainable combinations to have that information, because I think when you have that information, like what you now have are like who the best draftable players are in rounds 15 through 18, and when you have that, you can essentially reverse engineer how you're drafting from rounds 1 through 14. And where you can like be weak at a position and load up elsewhere, because like, I know who's available that like has a nice role in rounds 15 through 18. And you do get some leverage as far as like, this guy's only 50% drafted in the contest and he's a great pick. I'm hammering this guy. So there are benefits to it. Maybe I'll regret it whenever I'm like 120 drafts, like, behind in August, and I'm like, oh shit, I got ground to make up, or it could be a lot of fun. I guess time will tell.
Oh, we are on the clock. So our choices: Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, Bijan. Anybody else you want? Anybody but Chase? Who do you like?
I'm gonna tell you to take Jefferson.
Oh, Jefferson in back-to-back drafts, man.
I know. I am sorry for the content, Neil, but I do want to draft a good team with you, and I love Justin Jefferson. I love Justin Jefferson too. Yeah. I just refuse to pay up for Saquon after last season. It's just like it's such a pride thing. I'm so dug in my ways in that regard. And I think Jefferson easily wide receiver 2. I don't need to I don't need to make a huge selling pitch on Justin Jefferson. It's Justin Jefferson, for God's sake.
He's the best receiver in the NFL. He's in the best in the best environment, I should say, in the NFL. Not the best offense, but like he's got KOC coaching him. The offensive line vastly improved this year in a dome. Like all of those, just like, oh my God, sign me.
Yeah, like I would call it like systemic, like insulation, right? Where he just is like so like there's like a lot of things could happen, and he still is going to project like a monster.
Yeah, Nez he's trying to be counterculture with his running back.
I am.
We're all deep down, we're all piss bros.
It's so much of more like heuristics than actual like strategy and just trying to be different.
Nez, I've been bringing up the Herzig thing. It's one of those things that the fantasy best ball. I like to talk about it on these streams. It's just fun. And I gotta ask, how is your relationship with John after seeing that you're priced $100 more expensive? Like, are his feelings hurt? Are you guys doing okay? How has that affected you guys?
He thinks it's a tremendous bit. John has some incredibly thick skin. I don't know what it would take to actually hurt his feelings. So he just thinks he was laughing it off. He thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I did submit
$100 difference is funny.
I know, right? Like just enough that it's like just enough of a dig. Like it's not a huge dig, but the dig was made. I did submit a lineup, and I forget who I chose, but I did submit one. I do think that like I will be a nerd about this, man. I think that's a good. I think it's a fun contest. I actually
it is fun. I think it's kind of cool. Fun. Yeah. I have not submitted a lineup because I haven't actually read the rules yet. I don't really know how it works. Can I submit more than one? Like I don't want to submit one right now. I can only submit one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's just one.
So I brought up the idea with Jacob while we were drafting. What do you think of the idea of should we be correlating our picks? So the idea that I had was like, take all the sidekick guys, take your sacrilegious, your shady advice, your Pat Grain. I'll be drafting a fair amount off the sidekicks. You could throw me in there. You could throw Jacob says he maybe doesn't use the sidekick. He just trusts their rankings. But like, people that are using the same set of rankings or kind of have the same ideology. Do you want to stack in that way?
I kind of love that idea. I think that actually makes a lot of sense, right? Like if you trust the rankings, you can make a absolute powerhouse of a best ball fantasy lineup. I actually think that makes a lot of sense, Neil. You're once again just 2 steps ahead of the game.
I give a lot of thought to this Herzig. Yeah. And you know what? If you're not first, you're last. So like if we all go down together, like who cares?
Yeah. I also love that like the salary exists because like it doesn't even need to exist. That's the funniest part about it. Like that was so unnecessary.
You literally could like play. I mean, no, it's 50,000. You can't quite play the 5 most expensive. All right, we are on the clock. Trey McBride is there.
Let's take our first running back here. Let's go NFC North. Let's go Josh Jacobs here. I know this is slightly expensive for Josh Jacobs, but there's a chance that this is not expensive enough. I mean,
if he just does what he did last year, right?
I honestly just don't see how that doesn't happen. Unless we get some more bullish reports from Marshawn Lloyd, then I may like get a little scared. But we haven't really got that yet. I'm pretty sure he was practicing with like the injured reserves still, after the injury that he had. He didn't see the field at all last year. Not off to a good start for Marshawn Lloyd. And Jacobs is a workhorse.
We have Trey McBride, Rashee Rice, T. Higgins.
This is a little more tough for me. I kind of lean JSN here. What do you think? Do you have a take here?
I mean, I'm a pretty big Trey McBride guy, but I haven't taken a ton of JSN, so I'm happy to go with your guy here. Get a little bit different. Then we could maybe get George Kittle at the next turn potentially if we want.
Yeah. McBride's obviously a good pick, but I'm kind of maybe this is wrong, obviously, but like kind of like Bowers or bust with like elite tight ends. Kittle, is a good price, but like with McBride being so close to Bowers, I do like to have a little pause there. And I like JSN because I think he is like in line for, top 3 in targets this season in the NFL. Cup behind him. Maybe Cup was injured. Maybe Cup puts together a good season for Seattle. But man, I do not think that he has a lot of target competition around him. And we likened this guy to a very as a very high prospect. In a better system, Darnold fed Jefferson all he can handle. I just think that the ceiling is pretty high for JSN given those factors.
So I feel like I've sort of had a soft fade on JSN, and I think it's kind of a correlated bet with my Vikings. The bet being like, well, what if Sam Darnold was completely made by this system and he was completely insulated by the system, and now he's just going to go and be not that great in Seattle? But you're not the first sharp person that I've heard who has been like, why is Sam Darnold going? Which I guess you didn't say this, but maybe the offense just is like Darnold was pretty good last year. Like, so like who says he can't still be pretty good this year? Obviously, other than those last couple games, he was like really good for most of the year.
Yeah, I think this is I think this is interesting because just strictly speaking from Darnold's perspective, like this is sort of like the Geno Smith stuff where we saw Geno do it for Seattle once. We didn't see Darnold do it for Seattle, but we saw Geno do it once for Seattle, and no one was, if memory serves me right, no one was really a believer that Geno was real. They thought that season was not for real, and he was going to turn to a pumpkin. And then he he continued to be good, and Geno's still a little underrated. there's a chance that this is that same dynamic on the same team, the pattern matching with the team. But I think that they're like Darnold was really good last year. I think we are maybe discrediting his skill set a bit much. And part of it could be the way that he just absolutely floundered in the playoffs. I think that being the last memory we have of Sam Darnold is baked in so much to the ADP.
Oh, big. I mean, he was like in the MVP conversation. Like he was never going to win it, to be clear, but he was in the MVP conversation late in the year. Like
you had to talk about him.
Yeah. So yeah, you're probably right. That it was just like those last 2 games were so horrendous that we just have completely forgotten anything that happened prior to that, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, so I fully acknowledge the risk with Darnold, but I do like setting up Darnold late when taking JSN.
Yeah, I mean, we took 2 picks here that honestly I have not taken a ton of Josh Jacobs, even though like I understand like the point like is literally just he just needs to do what he did last year. We haven't really gotten much reason to believe that he's gonna have a lesser role this year. For me, I think I sort of have I don't know if it's a blind spot exactly, but I sort of like a black mark on like running backs who have gotten too much volume, too many years in a row, and they're aging. Right. I'm just like, he's going to get hurt. Like I just know he's going to get hurt if I draft him. Which is probably not the best way to approach things. As we've seen last year, just these guys continue to crush, and who says they can't continue this year?
Yeah, I don't think it's like bad praxis to have that like baked in as much as you do.
We are on the clock. Jalen Hurts is who the sidekick wants. We do have George Pickens here again, Zay Flowers.
Dude, I love George Pickens. I know you just took him, man, but I love George Pickens.
I'm happy to take him again.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
You're a Pittsburgh guy, so you've watched a lot of George Pickens too.
Yeah, and I just like can't believe that we are not more excited about George Pickens playing with Dak Prescott.
I know.
I just think that this is crazy. And he deserves to go so much higher. He's such a talented receiver, and the pass volume is like not just necessarily like to him, but just offensively, they're about to pass so much.
He just took Devontae Smith and then took Joe Burrow instead of Jalen Hurts. That's did not see that coming.
That is awesome. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna throw out Chuba Hubbard, but if you want to double stack Addison, we can do that too. But Chuba is
I do like Chuba.
Okay, a little bit of correlation with JSN if I have my week 17 memorized correctly.
Yep, correct.
Okay, yeah, no, Chuba's a fun one, man. I mean, him going down so far here, I think is interesting because I just don't think is sharing. Like maybe he does share work with Rico this year. That would be, that'd be a bummer. Rico was really good last year, but like I still think Chuba bona fide RB1 in an offense that I think is ascending. I really like what I saw to Bryce Young last year, and adding Tet McMillan, and I think JT Sanders can even take a step forward.
Yeah.
I've been a Bryce Young apologist since he's been in the league. So
do you think
fully ready for them to be good?
I'm with you. Like I've been pretty in on Chuba Hubbard. Do you think there's any like way that they run less now that they've added Tet McMillan? Like maybe they become more pass heavy. Like I think I'm almost more worried about them just throwing the ball more worried about that than Chuba losing his role because he was so good last year. I don't know.
I think it's fair to say like they lean on him less. If the offense is better, they lean on him less. But I think what the counterpoint to that be, well, if the offense is better, that's more possessions and that'll actually
more touchdowns.
Get more red zone attempts. Equals better runouts for Chuba potentially. I like him with this.
I mean, this is exactly right. This is why it scares me. It's like, and Henry is the one that I'm betting against the most this year. Like I might have 0 Henry this year. And like, what are you doing, Neil? Like he just keeps doing it, but
I know
it's tough.
I think I am going to have more Henry than I ever did in years past. I'm taking, I'm taking my medicine on that. I do kind of struggle taking, and I love Genty. Obviously it feels awful to be like, I'm probably going to have a soft hit on Genty because I think Henry should go ahead of him, but that's sort of where I'm at right now, at least, in June. I'm doing that in June, and maybe, like come August, I can, make up for the Genty fade for now. But also, to be fair, Derrick Henry is like the outlier of all outliers.
I know.
So,
yeah, he's such an outlier, but it's like he's still probably an outlier, which is why it's like it's probably foolish for me to continue to fade him. It's like, but it's just like he gets more and more. It's like he has so many carries under his belt now. Like at some point, something has got to give. But
if he was
maybe not.
If he was in a worse offense, I would be with you. But just the fact that I think the Ravens are going to be a machine again. He's a part of that. That's where I'm at. But keep fighting the good fight.
I think that I might hedge by taking him a lot in the eliminator, which I'm not drafting the eliminator. When I do, he's very much an eliminator ass pick. So I think that he might just be one of my bigger stands there. Of course, is the ADP different there? Like I wouldn't be surprised if the field is doing that too. So
yeah, ADP is different. I would find a way to I don't know if you're you play around with any language models at all, but I've been trying to make this ADP with that just to get a better baseline. Okay. Interesting spot here. I am probably Jacoby Myers.
I don't hate that. Yeah.
Okay.
He's over here. Okay. Yeah. Apparently the sidekick does hate
way
it,
low on him. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Because I use a sidekick a lot for my slow drafts. Yeah, they are not high on him, but I am very much high on him. That's another one where he has Genty in there for weapons, but I just think that offense can be pretty good this year.
Are we worried about?
He's a really cheap.
I don't think I am.
I'm not taking Besh personally.
I think this is going to be a better offense. Yeah, I like the pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like your guy Caleb Johnson?
I honestly don't take a lot of Caleb Johnson. I think I'm Diggs or Ayuk here. We can maybe take a swing for Ayuk, and be insulated from that injury if you start slow, because we have four pretty good wide receivers to start.
Yeah, I like that. We already have
and potential CLV pick there too. He can go either way. He's clearly being middled right now with the injury information that we have. But if he's not opening on preseason pup, he's going he's directly moving to pick 50, almost immediately.
Yep.
Fun start.
Yeah, no, I like that call. This is a fun start. We got two running backs, 5 receivers so far. Feeling good about that. Yeah, Emwald also says going to take his Henry in the. I think Emwald is in this draft with us. I believe I saw that. Crutches in here with 12. Us. Yeah, we got a lot of D. Tom in here again. So a lot of familiar names drafting with us. Good to see you all. Het was in the last one with us, so I wonder if he's also watching.
What's up, man? So I heard you mention about the eliminator. How many eliminators do you think you're going to get done?
I think I'll do 150.
Nice. I think so too.
I just put out an eliminator piece. It's the first piece behind the paywall. It's actually, I haven't put it in video form yet. I wrote it up trying to get a video done today so that I could tell people, hey, behind the paywall, I did some eliminator strategy. Did not get that done in time. I'm also part of me is this would be a good piece to try video editing on, just because you can throw in little graphics, and I have no experience. You and I have talked about this because you have a lot of experience with video editing. I still don't, but I have. I've gotten some recommendations on the video editing software, so I'm this could be a good one for me to do that. So I have not put the video out there yet, but I put a written piece in my Discord, which is you can access by signing up for joining the Flannelverse, $5 on YouTube. If you join the YouTube, then you can join the Flannelverse Discord that is up there. But I will give the one piece that I'm planning on giving this away in a short video anyway. But one piece of advice that I have, which I know that you are sponsored by Underdog. You have a relationship with Underdog. This is probably not advice that you. Oh, appreciate you, Nez.
I can't believe I wasn't joined up. You saying that just made me realize that I need to do my due.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing that I have that ability. So don't feel bad about not joining.
Okay.
I believe you are my first member. So
are you serious?
I believe so. I believe you are the first member.
I mean, spoiler alert. That's going to change once I leave here. You will have more members.
But
sorry. What were we saying?
So I was saying the one piece of advice that I can give, because I have no actual association with Underdog, that they might not love this advice given out, but I don't really think you should be drafting yet. With the contest going until late August, maybe early September, I think you should wait until either August or until the contest is 85% full. I mean, if you're doing 150, maybe more realistic, 80% full. But the information edge that you get by drafting late, actually, we are almost on the clock, so I will continue after we draft.
I think that take is correct, though, to be honest.
Oh, damn, we're at 95 already. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, this draft is kind of flying here. Najee's calling me like the Green Goblin mask, but
we can
what about? All right, man. Let's just do it. Let's just do it because this is probably the best offense that he's been in since his rookie season, and
yeah,
this is like just not a bad price for Najee Harris. I'll be. I mean, wow, we did take him way ahead of ADP. What ranks are we using, by the way? Are these yours?
So these are old ETR ranks, is what they are. They're like a week and a half old. So yeah, I really meant to go in and change them before we got in here. It's cool. Whatever.
Okay. Well, we weren't going to get them on the way back anyways, Neil. So
throw the fuck down. You know what they say.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Pittman or Shaheed.
Here's ADP. Here? This is ADP. If you like that.
Man, Higgins is interesting too. I know the ADPs for athletes falling down. Pittman is interesting.
We also don't have a quarterback. Pittman, I'm good with Pittman. Yeah, give us another out.
Yeah,
I
think we'll get a stacking partner on the way back. I think that would definitely be a priority for us. I think Pittman is just a really good price right now. I think he's a pretty damn good wide receiver. Michael Pittman being wide receiver 6 is, damn near like we could, if we didn't start with 2 running backs, I'd be like, we could almost stop with Michael Pittman being our 6th wide receiver. Yeah. But to your point, to go back to that eliminator point, I do think that you were correct that like your lineups will be better for the eliminator, if you do draft later because you were having less zeros. Like I agree. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, it's one of it's probably not the best like underdog's favorite take to hear, but like it's just true. And Crutches says theoretically yes, but this is a good point. Time is a variable. So like if you were trying to get 150 in, absolutely, it's tough to get them all in late.
Right.
I do think like as far as prioritization goes, if you're just trying to get like maximize your EV, I think it matters more for the eliminator than other contests because you are reseeded after week 1. So theoretically, me drafting in August, I can be going against people who are drafting right now who just have so much less information than I do starting in week 2 and just like going from there. So I think like of all the contests where it is a huge advantage to draft late, I think that it's like by far the one where that information edge is biggest. With that said, like I agree, time is a variable. It's also like it's fun. Like I'm not like saying like you're an idiot if you draft right now. It's just like
of course
if you're trying to maximize your EV, like
I think one way to get the volume into is slow drafts where you can get that volume in easier. You can get it in early, and you still have like you're expanding that opportunity window to like get that information. That's also part of the process too. If you are a slow draft person, which I am, kind of not even by choice, but just because that's the only way I can get the volume in. But I'm embracing it, man.
Yeah. It's I am a slow draft guy also. It was one of those things like I hated it like everybody does. I was like, why would you want to do slow drafts? It's so like watching paint dry. And then Alex Baker said you just have to draft like 50 of them at a time. And I'm like, he's right. And then it becomes like I'm overwhelmed. I was like, I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, I'm on the clock in 20 drafts.
The nighttime routine sucks for sure. I think we should just queue up JJ.
Yes, my guy.
Yeah,
we just had a run on quarterbacks that could have come to us.
So, I know Car Park taking Prescott from us, but he had CD, so that was inevitable. Losing Purdy kind of sucked, but it is what it is. But we have other quarterbacks that we are going to that we can take, that we can wait on if we want to, that is. And I do kind of want to
wait on quarterbacks.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, because like, who's the next stack that's available, for us even? I'm not even based on the wide receivers we have. I mean, Geno, Jordan Love pairs with Jacobs and Herbert pairs with Najee, but damn, he took two.
Oh, I really wanted Tootin too. Yeah. We were on the same page there. All right. So this is ADP.
Can I get you to take Tyler Warren?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I think Tyler Warren is just
double stacking it.
I know. Yeah, double stacking the ambiguous quarterback situation. What could possibly go wrong? But man, I think Tyler Warren no matter who's at quarterback, could probably be like a huge benefactor. I just don't think he needs great quarterback play to be successful based on how he was successful in college, which was kind of just being like a yak monster and a bit of a, jack of all trades, what have you, however you want to, call him. But he was just so dynamic that I think the Colts really have no choice but to find a way to use him.
I think Steven Urbanek was tweeting at me about, in response to something, was saying that he thinks he's going to be like the do everything kind of guy for them. I forget who he compared him to, but yeah, I have not actually taken a ton of Tyler Warren, but I'm like, he's one of those guys. I'm like, I feel like I should take that name more. Like, he just like maybe is not usually at the top of the sidekick, so I just don't like see it and think about it. But yeah,
I don't think the landing spot was good. Like I don't think that. I think he could have ended up in better spots. But at the end of the day, I think that he's a weapon. He was drafted high, and just like just a very clearly a very skilled offensive player, and not necessarily like like a Michael Mayer type. Even though I think Mayer was skilled coming out of college as well, but. I just have faith that Tyler Warren is going to be used offensively, and little bit underpriced after the draft.
Actually, I think I was just looking at it earlier today, Mike Clay's projections, and he had him projected for like a high number of targets, I believe. I can't find where that is now. I thought I had his projection somewhere. Oh, here it is. Hang on.
Nice. I'm excited to hear this.
Tyler Warren. So he has him as TE 18, so not particularly high there. 75 targets. So okay. Like, I guess not like
it's a rookie.
High number.
A rookie tight. Yeah, no rookie tight end is going to pop in models. That's for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a higher number than that. So forgive me for getting your hopes up.
Well, we're trying to win. We're trying to win $2 million.
We're looking for.
Got to ask for the right tail outcome. We're not looking for the median.
Exactly.
I just saved it for you.
Also, he's going to play the. Mark Andrews is now doing the tush push for the Ravens. It's going to be the same thing with Tyler Warren. He's going to do the tush push for the Colts. Ooh. We actually UFL. I'm assuming you don't watch a ton of UFL. Is that correct, Nez?
That would be a correct assumption.
There was one of the UFL teams created a new package this past week that they are calling the Grenade, where they get defensive linemen out there along with the offensive linemen, and it's just 11 big guys, and they have the defensive lineman blocking. They snap the ball to a tight end, and then that tight end just runs it behind the offensive lineman, goes one way, the defensive lineman go the other way, follows the defensive line, and it worked 2 out of the 3 times for them. So I think that's going to be Tyler.
Whoa.
That's the point that I'm getting to.
Dude, I love that. Like, that's what those leagues should be doing, is like trying to like reinvent football.
Exactly.
That's so cool. I would love to see something like that.
So Gino is what the sidekick is telling us to take. ADP would be Trey Benson, Jake Ferguson, also high on this list.
Yeah, I am. I would like Benson, I think.
All right.
I know he's like pure contingency, with James Conner there, but my eyes just tell me Trey Benson is really good if he ever gets the chance.
I mean, this is the point in the draft where running backs are going to be contingency, right? Like, and it's a pretty strong contingency back, right? True.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's a whole lot of talent behind him, and they took him, I think, in the second round. And I just see like an explosive back in Trey Benson. And I guess you never know. Maybe there is some sort of role he carves out for himself this season, after his rookie season. That's wishful thinking, but I'm into him, man. Okay, so we're by ADP. How far down is Gino? I feel like he's pretty far, right? Like, we don't necessarily have to
ADP
do that.
Is 165. So
I think we can wait, man.
You like somebody else here?
I like Ferg. Yeah, I like Ferg. Jake Ferguson.
Oh, Jake Ferguson. Yeah. Somebody had mentioned, I think they were talking about Terrence Ferguson. So I was like, wait, that's.
Oh, yeah. Geez. Already knows? Yeah. I like Ferguson here. That's the same sort of thesis with Pickens. Obviously, correlation. If that offense is better, both these guys are underpriced.
So I noticed earlier we were coming up with like the sidekick was telling us a bunch of quarterbacks to take, and they were showing the teammate times 1, and you said, well, I don't see any real like correlation with our picks. We don't see any stacks here, and I think that I'm wondering if you think about it kind of the same way I do, where like, yes, I like having those running backs as part of the stack if I can get them, but like I don't really ever want to take a quarterback without at least one like primary pass catcher, like actual like wide receiver or tight end. Am I correct that I got the impression that that's kind of your opinion also? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Or are you willing to take just like a running back with your quarterback?
No, you're correct, man. Like I want a pass catcher with my quarterback, full stop. That's what I want. It's not a deterrent for me to like not to, if I have a running back, it's not like I don't want the quarterback. I'm indifferent about it. I think that correlation works better for like the marathon where like this team is scoring a shit ton of points. Everybody's eating. And you're benefiting from that for a full season, as opposed to like, we're trying to, at the end of the day, we're trying to win week 17. Yeah. And I want, and if we want to have the out for a quarterback pass catcher going off, you need to score like 200 fantasy points. So I think you should be correlating that way.
Yeah, that's exactly like how I feel about it. I hear people talk about it like, oh shoot, we took somebody unstacked or whatever. Like we accidentally, like we were forced to take this quarterback unstacked. People are like, oh, but you have him with Tyler Algier or like, some running back who's not really pass catching. I'm like, that doesn't really do much for me. Cause like you're saying, like at the end of the day, we're in a DFS GPP and like, I'm never stacking. That's just the example that comes to my head. Like Michael Penix with Tyler Algier in a DFS GPP. So like, I don't mind having them together, but like I want to have the pass catcher also. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. In a BBM field, definitely. You're gonna want that.
The most Andrew take. What got Andrew? Like he has the same level of obsession with Ray Davis that that Felix has with Najee Harris. But like with Felix, he won $1 million because of Najee Harris. Like what is your obsession?
I will. You know what? It's a good bit. I will say I respect Andrew's takes because Andrew does a lot of prospect work. He just like this. He was just really in on Ray Davis from the jump. I just remember seeing a bunch of bull posting, and Ray Davis is good, but man, we were not taking Ray Davis where he went. I mean, we missed him. Where we took him. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
This year he's going to win the $2 million. I get it. Okay. Nice. With Ray
Davis. I won't let him forget Jacob Cowing though. He was going to the grave for.
Was he super in?
Yeah. I'll get him there.
So Gino did go. D. Tom got him with his Jack Besh.
Got to take him with Jack Besh. You just gotta.
Just got to.
Well, we'll go Darnold.
Yep. I'm not taking much.
Do we have to yet? I think
not
we should, right?
Well, do we want to do two quarterbacks at this turn? I guess is the question. Do we want to go Darnold and Anthony Richardson potentially?
Potentially. What pick number is this?
We are at 167.
Yeah, we should take Darnold here.
Right, and then we can think about ARich versus.
Yeah. What do you think about ARich, man? Because like I had a take on stream that like I think Anthony Richardson is a good pick. I know he is. Oh, thank God. I'm kind of in on Anthony Richardson, but like, are you feeling otherwise about him right now?
It's funny because I just took Daniel Jones with Jacob in the last draft because he thinks that Daniel Jones is going to start week 1 and week 17. I would not be opposed to taking Anthony Richardson. Just mixing up the bet here, but what do you think? Do we want to do it?
I want to.
All right, let's just do it. That's pretty funny. Yeah, because I think Jacob and I also had like the anti-Josh Jacobs conversation, and then you come in and you're like, I think Josh Jacobs is a great pick here, and now we're doing the inverse of the Colts guys. So this is fun. This is a fun start.
All right, cool. I'm glad I can get you some dichotomy here built around Justin Jefferson. Now you're either one of these teams is winning $2 million. Like it's just a matter of who. I mean, Jacob is the Colts guy, so he's obviously extremely tapped in for it. But I just can't get past the fact that if Anthony Richardson is starting and there's no buys, Anthony Richardson's like QB 8, QB 6 in projection. I can't shake that. Like, and with the quarterbacks that we have, obviously, I think we can afford to take that upside swing with QB3. With Darnold and JJ. There's some wishful thinking there, and now we kind of have the upside swing with ARich plus the stack pieces. It just for this specific team, I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense for this team. Also, and I honestly don't have an opinion on the Colts quarterbacks really. I mean, Daniel Jones is like he was once upon a time a very good fantasy quarterback. Right. I drafted a ton of him. didn't go well at all. The year he was going around like
Same.
pick 110. That was awful. But
I drafted out of him last year.
He runs a bit. I don't think
Yeah.
I did last year. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't really remember. But you know, he could be good. But ARich, like, he wasn't as good this year, but 2 years ago, he like every game was like 28 fantasy points. He was just like absolutely crushing it. So I don't really know what to make of him. Whatever.
I know.
I'm
glad you're okay with it.
Dealer Tom pointed out he also has Bowers and Gene T, not just Jack Pesh on his Geno team. So he was setting up the full stack. All right, you're right. You can have this one. You're correct. What's up, Deebo? Fade Sanderson draft underway. I mean, kind of.
This is the anti-Sanderson, isn't it?
It is. It is the anti-Sanderson.
Yeah, I don't know. I can understand it, a Josh Jacobs say, but I've been a Josh Jacobs guy for many years now.
Were you in on him the year that he absolutely crushed when he was going like nobody was taking him until like the 5th round or something, and then he was like
for the Raiders? Yeah, I was I think I'd like, I mean, this is not anything to be proud of, but like 12% because I was not making content at that time. I was consuming a lot of content, and I'm like, man, all these guys that I respect are making good points. They're all fading Josh Jacobs. Like, they probably know better than me. And I was like, I gotta start making content. After that, I was like, I gotta get out here.
I know better than these fucks. Yeah. I mean, I think I had like 4 or 5% that year. It was funny. So I was under the field. That was the 1 year that I've gotten to the BBM finals. And one of my team, I got 2 teams to the BBM finals. One of them had Josh Jacobs. And I was just like, at that point, he was like 4% owned in the BBM finals because he was so bad in the playoff weeks. So I was just like, oh my God, please just like have this one spike week when
insane
he
leverage.
was not good. He was not good that week, sadly.
Nope. Yeah, that was a shame. They got away with it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of the sharp players had Josh Jacobs. That was giga leverage on top of that as well, because you probably drafted pretty smartly and not just like most Josh Jacobs teams were, robust RB, because that's just the profile drafter. It's kind of an interesting relationship there.
It is. It wants to take Jatavian Sanders. We do already have 2 tight ends. Jalen Coker's
I do like Sanders, but this guy has 3 wide receivers or 3 tight ends. Can I get you to take Keenan Allen?
Yeah, you can.
All right. Let's say Keenan Allen. One for the elder statesman.
Yeah, I mean, this is you're on my stream as the oldest streamer on YouTube. So we got to support our elders here.
Yeah, no, I do think that he's going to play football. I feel like that might be a hot take right now. I'm not.
He was still really good last year too. Yeah,
he was like with the best receiver on the Bears last year, and everyone's like, "Nah, you remember he's fat?" Like, because that was a meme that took off
from the beginning of the year. That was before the season started. Yeah,
and then like, oh yeah, it turns out he might be good.
We only have 4 running backs. Are we concerned about that?
Yeah, we do. I think this is probably a 5 RB team. Perhaps
5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, are you okay with like stopping with these 2 tight ends?
It's not my favorite thing, but do you see any running backs that you are comfortable with taking here instead of Sanders?
Like estimate, but he'll be there.
I like Marshawn Lloyd. Do you want Sanders?
I would like Sanders.
I mean, it's what the sidekick thinks. So yeah, I'll trust you, and I'll trust the sidekick.
We are banking.
Not amazing.
We are banking on that Seattle Carolina game going nuts. And Darnold being good is a big part of that. And we already have a decent bet on Carolina as well. So there's a chance that this is just a game that nobody like wants to stack. And it turns out to be like, wow, like, man, I wish I had this stack because the Panthers offense is so good and their defense is just trash. And, so many weapons on this team. It just lines up kind of nicely to giga stack it. And with JT Sanders as well, Tommy Tremble just had back surgery. They kind of think that he's going to, be available early in the season, but Tremble's been there for years, and like he gets like end zone packages.
Yeah,
Jatavian Sanders is like a legitimate offensive threat, and there's a chance that he is, ascends and becomes, I don't know, maybe like 3 in targets there. Obviously, I got Tet 1, but like after that, it's Leggett, it's Thielen. There's just a chance that he's, gets more targets than he normally does. And I just love this price too, man. I have a lot of wishful thinking for Jatavian Sanders.
I mean, it certainly could happen. I sort of feel that way about like Theo Johnson. Also, I would put into that kind of bucket.
Sure.
So I don't know. Like, I have trouble deciding who I like of these late tight ends.
They're all good picks in my opinion, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't go elite tight end, so we had the luxury of kind of taking a shot there.
Yeah, and I think with the Jacobs bet too, I think it's okay that we go 5 running backs with this 5th and 4th really being big time contingency swings. This is definitely a running back though for us, regardless.
Yeah.
Let's see if we just like sort by running back here.
Yeah.
Just so I can really get a feel for it.
So these are the outdated ETR ranks over here. Could take Woody Marks. Let's see. Devin Neal is who the sidekick wants.
I don't know much about Devin Neal. Maybe Andrew can tell us a little bit before we make our pick. I know who my pick probably would be if we don't get any Devin Neal news by the time that we.
All right, Andrew, give us. He wants to know your Tibbs firing thoughts. We're not going to tell you Nez's Tibbs firing thoughts until you tell us.
Yeah, we're holding my takes hostage. Woody Marks is I think somewhat interesting. Just because I don't know who else the RB2 is there. Net prospect, net draft capital. Okay, I would probably I gotta wait because T-Bear might snipe us. T-Bear loves a good snipe. So
I bet I have a slappy pick in mind that I bet you're thinking of.
I don't think you're gonna think what I'm thinking, but I'm curious to know what you're thinking.
Oh, I'm probably
change
not.
My mind.
I'm probably not. If you don't think that I'm thinking it, I was gonna say Brashard Smith.
Okay. Well, let's take Smith because I wanted Estime.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, that is not at all who I thought. Okay. Yeah, Brashard Smith, I feel like is sort of a slappy pick that I'm into.
There's nothing better than taking like the backup running back for the Chiefs just because of like the what if. We've been doing it's literally a tale as old as time.
Well, I think the first year that I did BBM, my highest exposed player was, oh my God, what's his name now? There was the 2 Chiefs running backs who had the
Darwin
same.
Thompson?
No, it was the 2 that had the first same D something. D. They had the Damian Williams.
Damian. Dude, I think it was Williams.
And then there was another one that had a different D name. But everybody was drafting the one who was like injured. Like there was one who was out for the entire year, and people were taking him in like the 12th round. And it was like Daryl Williams. I want to say Daryl.
Yes. Yes.
He was my highest exposed player. It was the year that CEH was a rookie. And everybody was super into CEH. Nobody took any Damian Daryl Williams. Nobody took any other Chiefs running back. And I was like, this guy was pretty good last year. I think he's going to be good. And then he didn't do anything the entire year. But it felt so good though.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was even taking Rojo when he was a Chief, just because like what if, just what I couldn't quit it.
Yeah. D. Tom says Kendre about a show. I mean, I took a ton of Kendre until like midway through last summer when ETR like did a segment where they were like, yeah, it sounds like the coaches hate him. Like he's not practicing this that much. It was like, it's so negative. And it was like, oh, so then I stopped. I completely stopped taking him.
Yeah. Brand new slate for him. So I don't hate the call. I haven't done it yet.
So I'll refresh and do the team. Did you give your thoughts on the Tibbs firing?
Sure. Yeah. I think it made sense. I think he's a great coach with great culture. And like everybody loves him wherever he goes, but they clearly have big plans in New York. So stay tuned.
Wait, was that a joke about being a great coach with great culture? I mean,
no. I actually do think that he's a great coach, and like people love Tibbs. Like Tibbs has almost like he brings about a culture that like is like infectious. I think that fans buy into. But it was clearly time for him to go, and I think the Knicks are about to make gigantic moves this offseason.
It was the beloved by everybody part that I thought maybe you're doing a bit, because like when he was here in Minnesota, by the time he left, we were like, get this guy out of here. Like I don't want to hear him yell,
okay, you would know.
Carl. Like we were so annoyed with him by the time he left. But then yeah, like he went to New York. I actually, by the time he got fired, I was like, you know what? I think I do like Tibbs. Like I think he was actually like, that team was fun. Like they were good and they did seem to love him. So so I kind of changed my tune on him. But yeah, there was just, while he was here, it seemed like everybody was kind of out on him.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
All right, people want us to quickly. First, I'll read off our team. Get your grade. Terrence wants us to give him a grade, and then we will have Emo Cowboy in here soon. Let me start by reading our team. I need to. All of you grade the team while I check that I actually sent the link to Tyler. Okay. Our team is JJ McCarthy, Sam Darnold, and Anthony Richardson at quarterback. At running back, we have Josh Jacobs, Chuba Hubbard, Najee Harris, Trey Benson, and Brashard Smith. Wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, JSN, George Pickens, Jacoby Myers, Brendan Ayuk, Michael Pittman, Keenan Allen. Tight end, we have Tyler Warren, Jake Ferguson, and Jatavian Sanders. So we have, as far as stacks, JJ McCarthy with just Justin Jefferson. We do not have a bring back on that one. We've got Sam Darnold with JSN. We've got double bring back with Jatavian Sanders and Chuba Hubbard. Then we have Anthony Richardson with Michael Pittman and Tyler Warren. And then do we have Jacksonville?
No,
we don't have any. All right. How do you feel about that one? This team?
I like this team a lot. I like the way that, like, I think it makes sense how this team can become a monster based on the bets that we made on this team. And I also think it's very funny that this is kind of like such a similar team that you drafted with Jacob as far as stylistically.
Super similar, yeah.
Like Jefferson is on this team, Pickens is on this team. You start off with two early running backs like we did here, and then you have like third that's like kind of a backup. You with Jordan Mason, and we took Najee, and then you had a contingency Garendo. We have a contingency Benson, and then like Roshan, and then we took another late guy. So like the running back room is put together the exact same. It's just very funny, just with like different players, just in a different font. Because this is my team, I love this team. I'm gonna give us a 9 out of 10 because we took some uncomfortable picks with Richardson and Brashard Smith, but I actually really like this team.
Love it. Yeah, no, anytime you can get me to take JJ McCarthy with Justin Jefferson, I feel like this is strong. We got a really strong base for this team. Yeah, no, I think it's built well. We've got the right structure, all that. Nez, I don't know how quickly you need to get out here because people are wanting us to glaze their teams or sauce their teams. Do you want a sauce? Or do you need to get right out?
No, I got time for saucing.
Okay, we'll do a couple sauces and then we'll get you out of here. I know you have a young kid at home.
I do. Right. He is like 12 weeks old now. So yeah, but I got time. I told my wife I was gonna be gone for an hour.
All right,
got to make the most of it.
Het asked us to sauce the team. Has Justin Fields, Justin Herbert, Bryce Young at quarterback. He's got Breece Hall, Quinshon Judkins, Isaiah Pacheco, Zach Charbonnet, Ray Davis, Tank Bigsby, Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, Tet McMillan, Juwan Jennings, Chris Olave, Jalen Noel, Mason Taylor, Theo Johnson, Tyler Conklin. You lost me at Ray Davis, but Nez, what do you think of this team?
I mean, this 3-6-6-3 is definitely a fun structure to build. I like the way that Het did it. I don't have any real sauce here. I love Justin Fields. I like this team a lot. And I think the key to 3-6-6-3 is like punting at tight end. And he definitely did that.
Yeah, I sauce teams in the classical sense where you neg them the last stream, and I was like, I'm terrible at saucing teams. Like I'm much better at like giving compliments and then like maybe a little bit of constructive criticism, but just like
we're too Midwest.
We're too Midwest. Yeah, so looks like a solid enough team to me. Looks like he correlated it very well. And I would say he did add more Jets here, but I feel like Breece Hall is like the type of running back where I'm like, I'm okay with the quarterback with that type of running back. I don't know if Justin Fields, Breece Hall is the best stack, but yeah, I feel like that's strong.
That can get dicey, but yeah, I think this is a good team.
Yeah. Interesting. It's only been 12 weeks. Is this your second kid?
Numero uno.
Let me see. Did anybody else want us to sauce theirs? Positive Perk said that he was the number one, enjoyed drafting with us, did not ask us to. Het wanted us, so we just did that. Oh,
I think Dulo. Yeah, Duludo said Sauce.
Yes, he did.
We can get him.
All right. So Lutom has Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, and Jackson Dart at quarterback. Running back, he has Ashton Jeanty, Omarion Hampton, Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, Rico Dowdle. Wide receiver, Devontae Adams, Jerry Jeudy, Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, Jack Besh, Quentin Johnston, Adam Thielen, Darius Slayton. And at tight end, he has Brock Bowers and Mark Andrews. I don't feel like you needed the Jackson Dart pick when you have Jalen Hurts and Geno Smith. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah. I would probably have made this like nine wide receivers, which, like, man, is a 9 wide receiver team ever the team you want? Now we're getting saucy. You did ask for the sauce. Now I'm gonna give you some constructive criticism here. This is sort of like the conundrum with, like, can you take Brock Bowers and an elite running back and an elite quarterback and still have a good team? It's really hard to do on paper, like, to submit this when pencils are down and ask if you did good. It's kind of hard to see a good team when you start like that. But I don't think it's a bad idea to try. I think if you do, though, you can't do 3 quarterbacks with it.
Yeah, the 3 quarterbacks a little bit tough. I don't like. I guess maybe 3 rookie wide receivers like here: Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins. I guess I'm just not really in on Jack Besh. Maybe I will be over time, but it's a little bit tough. But I guess there is upside there in Trey Harris and Jaden Higgins. Like, one of them could become, a solid 3rd wide receiver there. But and then I guess he brings it back with Adam Thielen down here, Darius Slayton, some more like eat your vegetables picks, I guess.
I think, Ramondre, you turn Ramondre into a wideout. And I mean, I know that's just another mid wideout. Maybe Tony Pollard, let's say turn Tony Pollard or Omarion Hampton. If you turn one of those into a wide receiver, you're probably looking at a more aesthetically pleasing team to the streamer eye.
Yeah. We do have the best hair in the business has shown up, so he can join us and we'll continue saucing teams for a minute here with Tyler, Emo Cowboy. Welcome to the stage. How you doing tonight, Tyler?
Doing great. Coming off a triumphant loss from Best Ball Jeopardy.
Tyler won, huh?
Yeah, the better autistic Tyler won today. So everyone's really shocked by that. The guy spent hours studying instead of teaching kids. So he really needed this win, and I'm glad he got it. How's it going, fellas?
It's going well.
Going great. Now that you're here, I'm passing the baton off to a great guest. 2 things. Is that sword behind you to prove that you're neurotypical, that you're neurodivergent, or what? Like,
so I was rearranging my office like 6 months ago and just set stuff on the wall, forgot, hit the camera, and now I'm like, well, for consistency's sake, I feel like I can't move it. And that's really just a fancy way of saying I'm too lazy to have too much white space because I have stuff I have to hang up. Like, this is supposed to be hung up, and I'm like, just put it on the desk or whatever.
It looks fine leaned up. Leaned up like that. Yeah,
whatever. Totally. Who needs white space when you have all of this? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, yeah,
right. You bring the color.
I do.
Wait. We had a couple more people ask us for the sauce. Nez, I don't know, like, you could leave if you want to. I don't know if you want to. Obviously, happy to have you stick around. I'm not trying to invite you to leave, to be clear. I'm just like, I know you like it. So.
The Midwest in you once again coming out. No, I am going to to bounce and make sure that that the baby is okay. Thanks for the invite, Neil.
Thank you very much. A lot of fun. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good luck with the 3rd draft, Tyler. Great seeing you as always, my friend.
Good to see you, bud.
Even if it's in passing. Strangers in the night. Bye.
Tyler, the one thing that you did miss is I started the stream I had a big old glass of wine, a double glass of wine, knocked it off the table and just like poured like the glass shattered behind me. It was just like the biggest pool of wine just right behind me. So it was I had to
I heard you had to be convinced to clean it up instead of having a tripping hazard, and that's why the Canadians will win. It's because the Americans will just die because OSHA's gone.
We ain't that smart. No, I did need to be convinced a little bit. I was gonna take care of it. I just, like, in the moment I was like, I can't like interrupt my like introducing Jacob. I'm gonna figure this out after I talk.
I don't know. You could have done a Swolecast-esque fumble the bag intro for an all-time hilarious slip and fall. But no, that wild enjoy, guys. It's so crazy out here. We're just throwing wine on the ground, baby.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad. I mean, it's still bad. Like I don't know if my keyboard is going to work. It just got wine just all up in my second keyboard. I have two keyboards on my, that was on my main.
What if this is what you need to win? Sticky keyboard.
Ooh.
Thoughts, fight or flight, and just making picks with your third.
Yes. Love that. All right, let's sauce these teams. So this is, which team is this? John Fiore, or do I have a different one pulled up here? John Fiore's team. So this is a 4-hole. John has at quarterback Bo Nix and Jared Goff. Running back Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, DeAndre Swift, Tyjae Spears, ARich Estime. Wide receiver Terry McLaughlin, Cortland Sutton, Jameson Williams, Cooper Kupp, Marvin Mims, DeAndre Hopkins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Michael Wilson, Amari Cooper, tight end Sam Laporta, and Isaiah Likely. What do we think? How do you feel about this one?
I thought taking Saquon Bucky was to allow you to catch up at wide receiver with quantity and quality as far as youth and excitement. And Hopkins, Wan'Dale, Michael Wilson, and Cooper Kupp do not fit that category. And so I have to say, this is pretty fucking gross. Especially Estime. Have you read the news? J.K. Dobbins, bro. What are we doing?
You know, what's funny is he actually sniped us. Nez wanted to take ARich Estime there.
The Estime bros need to find God.
He was one of my highest exposed players last year, so that was.
Oh, we're not talking about last year. We're talking about this year.
So I'm not doing it anymore this year. Yeah, I have not been in on Estime. This year,
wait a little bit longer on your third running back if you start Saquon Bucky. Otherwise, your team ends up like this.
Yeah. Other than the wide receivers, strong team, but the receiver is just a little bit gross for me. All right, the 3-hole, and then we'll get into Terrence has Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Cam Ward, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Dylan Sampson, Taj Brooks, Tyreek Hill, Calvin Ridley, Jordan Addison, Ricky Pearsall, Rashad Bateman, Christian Kirk, Cedric Tillman, TJ Hawkinson, Jonnu Smith, Chig Okonkwo. Weren't you just on? I was watching a stream yesterday, and Terrence was in the chat talking about how bad the Vikings were going to be this year. And that offense is going to be terrible. And now he's in here taking Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson from me. I mean, come on, man. What do you think about this team, Ness?
I mean, once again,
not Ness.
Just because ignoring wide receivers last year worked because A, every running back stayed healthy and crushed, and B, half the wide receivers died before week 8 does not mean take 3 in the first 5 rounds and then just only take 7, take a couple of dog shit guys. Like this is insane. Insane behavior, quite honestly, especially when you're deciding to lock up 2 tight ends in the top 100. Draft capital, go bye-bye to the wind. We don't care. And frankly, if I'm taking Hawkinson and Jonnu, I don't feel the need for a third tight end, even if it does stack. So I really do hope that you don't need Bateman, Kirk, and Tillman as your last 3 receivers. But you know what? Draft like you're right, and you just drafted like Hill is his own self. He's definitely not been falling off for 3 years in a row. There's no offensive implosion risk in Miami at all. The offensive line is not still an issue. Ridley doesn't have alligator arms and a Butterfingers problem. And, Addison and Pearsall are definitely not going to miss any time this year making up for this. So, and Kirk doesn't have a promising rookie who's already flashing in OTAs nipping at his heels. What a great team.
Tyler, I need you can just come on at least for the saucing segments. Nez and I were just talking about like we're both terrible at saucing.
Yeah, no, most of y'all are.
You're a natural at saucing.
I love shitting on people's teams. It's my favorite.
It was my first attempt on the last stream, and it went poorly. I was just like, I feel like I'm usually a pretty good shit talker. Like most of the time, like in sports and stuff, I'm a pretty good shit talker. But then like just saucing teams, like this is just too much information. I just can't.
The honest truth, Neil, is the secret is quit trying to analyze the team. The first thing that comes to your head that seems bad, feels bad, looks bad, just say it because it's true. Because that's how sauce works.
Love that. Yeah, you're crushing the sauces. Crutches actually says we are afraid to look at his powerhouse team. You didn't ask us to sauce it, so
that's him looking for a jerk off. I know that.
Yeah. All right, so jerk him off. All right, so he has Brock Purdy, Drake May, and Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Ooh, 2 week 14 bye weeks. That's gross. Devin Achane, Travion Henderson, Rashad White, Austin Eckler, Jarquez Hunter, Puka Nacua, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Stephon Diggs, Emeka Ibuka, Kyle Williams, Ray McLeod, at tight end George Kittle, Hunter Henry, Jawan Johnson. Does this guy not know about bye weeks? What's going on here? How do you feel about this team?
You know, with the 3-5-7-3, you'd hope you feel better about the players. Achane's fine. Travion's fine. Is falling. Newsflash. And outside of that, you know, Rashad White, Eckler, we just decided to take all the fragility and all the old and just soak it into everything while also being a flagship legendary upside slappy as fuck, taking both Stafford and May ahead of ADP. Kyle Williams is definitely going to save you from this team's outlet. And you know what? Respect for having the courage to take Ray McLeod over literally anybody else in the last round, because you know that's the bring back you need. Week 17 is definitely Ray McLeod.
But remember those 3 weeks last year where he looked like a league winner? That was the weirdest thing. Ray McLeod just like, I guess he's the wide receiver 1 in Atlanta for like 3 weeks last year.
Kirk Cousins finally having someone to catch yak before they started moving London around the formation is what happened.
Yeah, that was
also have some balls. You took Kittle at 43. Why do you need a third tight end? Like you were operating like he's an elite. Why are you cucking yourself? Grow a pair. Next.
Was there anybody else we need to sauce, or are we ready to get into a?
I think we're ready
to get into a draft.
Yeah, ready to rock and roll.
Apologies for anybody that we missed, but you're just gonna have to get into our next draft. I'm gonna enter it on my phone. I'll tell you when I'm clicking the button.
Bye weeks are overrated crutches for tight end. Oh, I've got to cover my tight end of a 0 with a 2.4. That's gonna help.
30-second draft starting now. BBM. 30-second BBM starting now.
Nice.
All right.
Famously tight end bye weeks really dent your advance rate expectation.
I'm trying to be a little bit less of a bye week bro this year. Like not really, but like I'm still gonna want to cover all my bye weeks, all that stuff. But I'm trying not to make all my decisions based on diversifying my bye weeks this year.
I think that's a good thing.
Last year I was like, you know, just like every tie that I broke was just like, well, I don't have this bye week yet, so I guess I'll take this guy, and it.
You know what?
Really horrible for
here's the thing, though. If that helped you diversify your picks,
I mean, exactly,
you were struggling to do that. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but I did not struggle to diversify. I
think of Davis Maddox thought more about bye week diversification last year.
It's so funny that Davis is completely flipped this year.
Because he's never been a flippant guy in his life anyway. He's never flipped literally mid argument or mid week. You know,
it didn't go well for me. I'm gonna switch immediately. Yeah.
You know what? Strong opinions held loosely. Respect.
Yeah. Oh shit! I need to get to our draft.
I didn't want to backseat drive you on your own channel.
No, go ahead and backseat drive me.
Oh, come on. Come on. How you doing, Neil? Good to see you. First time we've been on stream together.
We have not been. Yeah, we start mid-stream, so we didn't even get to talk before we started going here. It's been what, 6 months? Longer? No. Could it be longer?
I came on.
I'm trying to remember if we did any
8 or 9 for fantasy points. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You came on the fantasy point stream.
Yeah.
So that was the only in-season stream we did together.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
What sucks?
So as you may or may not know, Fantasy Sanctuary, lots of the Discord community folks, the main channel I'm a part of, just had drafters pull out, so they have no best ball outside of FFPC to play. I don't even know. I think FFPC does, but I don't know. Anyway, so we're doing a community slow BBM vote team, and we're on the clock now. And I'm sad because all the best picks are gone and it's all dog shit now. And I'm really afraid what they're going to vote for, Neil.
That's not as like sad of news as I thought you were giving me there. Like it sounded like really down. Like I was like, is FFPC no longer available in the UK or something? Like is this like what just like Tom decided to, I don't know, cancel any further content? Like what?
Neil,
Okay,
Rashee Rice fell 3 picks and went in front of my face. I don't know, like that. I feel like I've been shot. You know, I don't know how. I'm down bad. I don't know how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah, no, I do. I feel bad for you. That is rough. But we're in a draft here with several names that we know here. We got Het is back in this one. The What in the 3 hole. We got D. Lutomsky again. The Icon. Jeremy's here.
You call him Dulu. The guys call him Lumsky. Jesus Christ, learn to enunciate.
D. Lutomsky.
Oh, it sounded like you said Dulu.
No, his name. His name.
I like
is
Delulu. We're gonna call him Delulu Lutomsky.
Something starts with a D, and then Lutomsky is the last name. I think.
It is. No, you're right. I'm saying your pronunciation the first time made me laugh.
But I think just like Lutom is where I'm going to go. Just cut out the D. Seems easier.
I'll call it the. Do we have any correlation here? God damn it! They're gonna make us take.
Tyler, focus. You're on a stream. You gotta help me with my team.
Yes, we're on.
Is it Bijan? Is it CeeDee Lamb? Jahmyr Gibbs? Who do you like?
Let's take Lamb and build through the second/third round receivers. I like Bijan just fine, but the Dallas schedule is pretty nice. The targets are fine, and I have concerns about the shoddy Dallas pace and volume. That said, the shorter ADOT stuff makes him just like a target vacuum. We know he's got yak efficiency. If the offense, if the running backs do suck as bad as we think they do, they could be forced in a more high pace back of the season. If the defense is dog shit, same thesis. Washington ideally, hopefully, pushes them. So, yeah. I mean, I just it's about your 2v2s, and I'm trying to like build different types of those things. But I still think Bijan is a super fucking strong pick. But hopefully, in a room like this, we get a little bit of. Yeah, we're in a stream draft with a bunch of people we draft with. I'm hoping for a little bit of RB value, make it pay off.
You think that these people that we draft with, I guess they like their wide receivers, so we could get.
They like to piss when the last thing I want to do is be caught with their pants down and taking their first receiver in round 3 or 4. In front of us before we sauce them. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, they would never do that.
5D chess, Neil. 5D chess.
Yeah, smart man. I legit fired up many men when Rice got sniped earlier. Nice.
That's how I felt. I watched him in a slow draft. You watch him fall, and it feels like all day you're like, oh, he's close. Oh, he's close. And that hurts so much worse than in the moment where like the round comes and goes, and you're like, all right, we're done.
A fast draft, it's like, whatever, okay, shoot. But no, I got to move on to my next pick. Can't think about it. I get it. Slow draft, that's tough.
Dude, BTJ Nico from the 12 spot is so stupidly fucking good. It's insane how much I want draft pick 10 through 12 this year because it just feels so much stronger. Because you're like, I don't have to make decisions. This is set up. This is great. And look at these Biff 10. Brother Colin, you are a madman with CMCH in there.
Jacob and I talked about how we both prefer getting the late draft spots, and now this is the third one that we've been top 4 in all of them. So, not getting those late ones when we want them. But you always think one thing.
Neil, it's time to flip the fucking board.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you were going to flip the board, who would you take it for?
Ooh,
yeah,
probably Nico Collins.
Me too.
Nice.
Ball.
Ball. Yeah, on this very channel, we had Sacrilegious made the argument that Nico Collins could very well finish as the top wide receiver this year, and it would not shock anybody. And I think I agree with that. Like, it would not be shocking.
With health, easily, yeah. Whose ranks do you have loaded, by the way? Is it leg up ranks?
Maybe I should redo these. We are on this is ETR's old ranks, is what it is.
Oh, can I see ADP then?
ADP.
Let's see. I'm assuming we're picked through.
We're on the clock, by the way.
I know. Okay. Do you want to go JT here since we did CeeDee Lamb, or do you prefer Bucky?
I'm good with JT. I have not taken a ton of JT.
You know what? Pull Rice up. Yeah. Look at that. He got it. What a
Rice at 21. That's I learned that from you, Tyler. You gotta just grab the name, and it'll give you an extra second there to put it.
Grab him by the star power and make him pause.
Yeah, you taught me that, so I'm glad I could use that with you here.
Hell yeah. I like pulling up Rice to the second because if we are gonna piss, we can piss a strong stream, and all these dudes doing early running back are gonna push down some nice shit to us. I feel it. Let's bully the room, is what I say.
We're bullying the hell out of these guys, and there's nothing they can do about it. They just have to sit there and listen to us and take it.
My preferred way to give it. Also, Marv pulled up just to correlate with Chase over McBride feels so fucking bad.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Passing on. Watch those guys play. It does not feel good.
Yeah. Who? I think Pat Corain is a Marv Bull. I learned on ADP chasing, which sort of surprised me. I mean, I don't know. Did
he watch Kyler play last year? The answer, no.
Maybe not.
Kyler's been bad passing intermediate and deep for like 4 years in a row. It's pretty bad. And Marv was not great deep either.
Ooh.
Do we take the falling McBride, which doesn't really matter because we took Rice,
or reach for Rice,
or do we take Adams like grown men?
All right, I'm gonna tee it up. McBride and Adams. What do you want to do? So Rice is moving up quickly enough that I'm like that might not be attainable much longer with Rice and McBride there. But do you want Adams? Is that who you want?
I want to make you take Adams.
Oh, I hate you. Okay. No, I like Adams. I actually really like Adams as a pick.
Look at these 3 fucking alphas, Neil. Doesn't that feel good?
It does. It does feel good.
In a room where I think everybody's gonna be catching up soon, this feels nice. Also, here's my other Galbrain thing. David here does not get a unique combo. Garrett Wilson's normally going right around this range. Trey McBride's going around that range. We didn't gift the room anything unique. We get 3 super strong receivers both early and late. I think Rice just ends up here sooner than later. I thought it was going to take him a while to move up, and then someone today told me that 3 times in drafts today they were picking from like the 1-2 turn, and Rice was nowhere near available to them. So I'm like, maybe he moves up much quicker than I think. That's probably right. So may as well just get the combos you can get now, because I think just other guys are going to get pushed.
The 1-2 turn or the 2-3 turn?
Oh, I'm sorry. The 1-2 hole 2-3 turn.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he's moving up quickly, which is why I was kind of like, I wouldn't like, even though we did flip the board and took Rice, and then we could have gotten, I would have been okay taking McBride, just because I think the days of this being available might not be there that much longer, like because it might be like both of them are pulled up too much. But yeah,
in these rooms, I see McBride fall to the 3rd round pretty regularly. Bowers is falling to like 2021 these days. I think I've seen him as low as 23. So I have a sneaking suspicion that underdog users are going to push up receivers over the tight ends with any sort of bullshit FUD. Especially the people that don't need to be told to fade tight ends early. So with all that, I'm very fine just taking stands on guys that have huge fucking season long and single week ceilings, and their stacks are pretty cheap and attainable. And we start 3 receivers. Normally we start 3 straight. I feel like this just, I want to have flexibility in a room like this. Don't want to get boxed out. And this is a strong way to do that, for sure.
Absolutely. No, I like the start. Even as I'm making the case for like, we could have taken McBride there, I'm still happy to take Devonta Adams. I think like he could just be absolutely fed the ball. So I'm happy with this.
Yeah. Like I like McBride plenty. But I know what room I'm in, and I won't be surprised if these guys continue to push up at the tight ends falling down. We know ranks plus projected points. It's going to fucking happen. So, also the other thing is I take him to try to be like, ooh, I don't want to like give too unique of a thing, but again, if he's falling, how unique is it? And because Garrett Wilson goes early, feels good. And also thinking about if Rice is healthy, if Rice plays week 1, Rice's ceiling is insanely high.
Yeah.
And him going after guys like AJ Brown, Ladd, and Garrett when he was going over those guys fully healthy, with Worthy coming in. Also, it's a Matt Nagy offense. These offenses are boring. They suck. They know how to move the ball one way, and it's through a big body, middle of the field yak guy. Easy peasy. Like this, he's the lone consistent thing if things start to fall apart.
Yep, 100%. GM Steph.
100%.
To see you.
What's up, Steph?
Fellow, you guys live in the same city, right? He's
no, she
not
lives
trying to
in
talk to you, but
she lives
no.
in Dallas.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's
Even
Cowboys. Yeah, that's right.
Hunter, absolutely.
Embarrassment of riches here. Yeah. Starting with 4, we have not learned a damn thing.
Oh, we're going to be done at 6. This is going to be hot sex, Neil.
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah.
I also haven't learned. I'm still elite tight end slappy. Like I just cannot help myself when I see Bowers, McBride. Really, just those 3: Bowers, McBride, Kittle. I'm just like, oh, I need it. I need one of them.
I like it. I like it a lot. I just make myself not click it every single time.
Smart man.
Because the thing that I keep remembering is like they could smash all fucking year long, but if they don't have a fucking nuke game week 17, it probably sinks me, and then I sleep easy knowing like it's okay.
Yeah. True.
We're all gonna lose, whatever. How cool would it be to win with a 0 RB team though, and be like, "Oh, you fucking idiots thought it could work."
You guys all flip flopped, and we stayed the course, and look what happened. George Pickens goes. I had him in both of the other drafts today. All right, who do we like here?
I'm good with Mixon as our anchor.
All right, I have not drafted a ton of Mixon, but like they didn't draft anybody. I mean, they drafted Woody Marks. Like he seems pretty entrenched there at this point. So seems like a good pick.
Fun fact: do you know who the first team that J.K. Dobbins visited and had contract negotiations with?
Was it Denver today? You mean like ever?
It was a month ago with the Texans.
Oh, really?
After they took Woody Marks. Isn't that a fun fact?
So they're not, you think, sold on Woody Marks?
I think people get over their skis with Caserio and the draft capital, forgetting that this is a GM who you regularly loses trades in the draft, just goes and gets his guys, says fuck it. Famously pick like they wanted to pick Will Anderson. The owner came in draft day and said, "You're taking a quarterback," and they made a last minute trade of next year's first to move up from 12 to take Will Anderson and CJ Stroud at 2-3.
That's right.
They do not give a fuck about draft capital. Caserio is not good at this, like play the market, play the value. They love their guys, and their guys have weird roles. And at the end of the day, Mixon was given like one of the best workloads when healthy, and even like not really when healthy. The dude had a hip drop, high ankle sprain early in the year that destroyed him. He tried to play through and ended up having like 4 or 5 weeks on IR, and then came back and then got a low ankle sprain to finish off the season. So Mixon, the thing is, he gets a shit ton of work. This offense likes to control the ball. Ryans is not super aggro. So as much as I like Nico, I know that like they have no problem just handing off the ball to Mixon and letting him do his thing. O-line's getting a bunch of new, coaches and players, so could be better. Hard to be worse than they were last year, especially with penalties. Like the penalties took away a lot of big plays, a lot of yards, put them in bad situations. So quality, they could be just as bad, but if they're more consistent with penalties, then it could be a net good that I don't think people are talking about as far as like extended drives. And then just when healthy, Mixon gets all this work, which means he has like these monster games. We saw it in Cincinnati. Like he's just good enough to get all the work and get like 4 or 5 fucking touchdowns. And that's pretty powerful in the 5th round whenever you're kind of paying for the same thing. Walker, even though it's like a little bit hairy because like the backup running back there is quality. There's a new OC. He's got some strong coach speak, but like the other guy still catches passes and all this stuff. Like I don't think Woody Marks is that good. I don't think he's going to get that much work. I think he's pushing out these other guys. So Mixon feels like a really strong target in the 5th, especially in a build like this where you want an anchor that projects well, but also 3 dome games in the playoffs. Potentially playoff matchup seeding week 17. And the coaches love to just use the shit out of him.
Yeah, I'm sold. He was very good last year, right? Like he ended up being one of the top running backs in the season, his first year in Houston. So I think we've already seen all of the positives play out, and they could play out even better this year.
What if he's just like a low-owned hammer because he, Nico goes off week 14, 15, but Mixon goes off week 17. We don't know. We just don't know.
We just don't know. Yeah, we have gotten a little bit of value here already. I mean, we got
squeaking it out
2.3 picks later for Travis Hunter. That feels pretty good. 0.4. This was pointed out already in chat. So yeah. I mean, we did reach 6.4 points on Rushy Rice.
Ignore the reach. In 2 weeks, that will be at ADP. Baby.
That is true. That is true.
Apparently.
100%. All right. This is sort of at ADP on the left. This is the sidekick.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have to protect the integrity of BBM and take Joe Burrow here.
Yeah. Chris Olave,
I don't mind Olave as wide receiver 5. I mean, we just might be done with receiver pretty soon, and I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, we probably want one more at this point, and we're calling
this room not giving us much RB. So that was my other thing of like at least get Joe Mixon as the anchor. They are gobbling up those RBs.
I mean, we talked a lot of shit about how we were going to force them to give us RBs.
We'll get the guys later. That's fine. We're not scared. I ain't scared. You scared, Neil?
Ain't scared. Look at that. Takes two running backs. They're talking about it. Beautiful. We don't care. We don't care.
Who
needs running back?
2 backs on 2 bad teams that barely catch passes. I'm so scared.
Yeah, we could take J.K. Dobbins. I mean, scaring people from Harvey. Yeah, you're going to take the Harvey. We'll just take. J.K.
Harvey
Dobbins,
should be dipping. It's a little bit of an expensive fucking ADP.
Yeah. We still got some good running backs available.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anytime now, the what?
He's just waiting. He's gonna. I actually don't even know what I want right here. So
let's think through it.
Do we want Mahomes?
Fine. I'd rather either be done at receiver with Golden, Reed, or Diggs, or Pollard or Swift for our running backs.
I think I would be a Pollard or Swift guy. Just like give ourselves one more out for later.
I'd rather go the more talented guy who just got like probably the second or third best O-line upgrade behind Chicago. And as I just learned on Best Ball Jeopardy, go check it out on Fanspeak Network. If you didn't check it out, the Bears had the fewest yards from scrimmage last year.
Is that right?
Isn't that insane? I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
I thought it was New England.
Meg keeps on telling me like, oh, I need to have you on Best Ball Jeopardy. I would get crushed so badly in Best Ball Jeopardy. Like,
it was fun. The problem is my Achilles heel is I know ADP like the back of my hand for the most part, but like positional ranks, like I don't know who the fuck without ADP, I have no idea what wide receiver 44, tight end 27. Like I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't look at that.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. And then they were doing bye week math, which is like team logos. So I had to know what the fucking bye weeks were, which I don't, and then do multiplication, which is not my strong suit without, like pen and paper. I'm not a visual math guy, mental math guy. I'm a visual math guy. So anyway, but yeah, so Chicago, like Ben Johnson's very fun, and Swift stands to benefit from that. But like Tony Pollard was in a pretty bad situation. He's kind of arbitrage Joe Mixon in a way. Like when he's healthy, he's given all the work. He looked a lot more efficient last year. A year removed from his tightrope surgery, and for his career, he's just been a more efficient runner and receiver than Swift. And Chicago's a team that's, the staff themselves said, we want to see how these guys look before we, go and make any calls about guys on the street or trading. We have a short list of guys we want, but we're going to see how they look first. So I think we're getting a little too comfortable with Swift because, J.K. Dobbins isn't signed yet. Nick Chubb isn't signed yet. They haven't traded for anybody yet. And if that happens, Swift's ADP will drop. I think Pollard is at no risk of the ADP dropping without like an injury. And if anything, to rise over these rookie guys with projections and hype about Ward, hype about the role, yada, yada. So I just think as far as like playing CLV, playing talent, if nothing changes in the next 2 months, then Swift's a very good click, and you should have plenty. But yeah, I think Pollard there is solid.
Agreed. And I think I like him better than Swift. Maybe just a bias against Swift. But yeah, I think Pollard feels like a fairly strong play. As does, and I'm blanking on Tyjae Spears. I think Tyjae Spears, like that's the one thing is like they talk about it as we want it to be a split backfield. So there's part of it that's like they did say that last year, and it was Pollard who won out. Probably he wins out again this year. I still like Tyjae Spears where he goes. Are you opposed to Tyjae?
No, I think they're both great clicks, and they're also viable to take both, like a 7th round and a 12th or 13th round running back. To we've seen that one will smash with all the work. Take 2 shots to see who the fuck is healthy. Pretty cheap. Like, yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah, agreed. It is not a double click that I've done yet. Honestly, I haven't done a ton of taking 2 running backs from handcuffing my own running back so far this year, but it is something that I became more open to last year, and I think I'm gonna do some of it this year. I've done a little bit of it. I think I've done. I just recently did the actually by accident. I did the Chargers double tap with Omari Hampton and
Najee. That one's tough without.
Yeah,
that one's tough without Hampton falling a round and Najee falling 2 rounds.
It was not ideal. It was not ideal. But what if?
Anything sounds good if you say what if.
I mean, we're all going to lose anyway, so.
Exactly.
What's Deebo Tom going to do here? He's going to make us sweat it.
I ain't sweating shit, dog.
Me neither. Do we take the Mahomes value here?
Do we have any KC on the wrap? I don't think anybody has got KC. Pacheco is already gone. Who are we pushing him for, though? Would it just be Kelsey? We take Kelsey to push Mahomes, or we take Mahomes and get Kelsey?
I would take Mahomes and get Kelsey. Kelsey more likely to fall.
Then take Mahomes and then take Kelsey.
I also just
I know you're
Kelsey is just gross.
It's not naked. It's correlated with Rice.
Oh, true. But yeah. Well, like part of the Rice bet for me, if I'm not taking Mahomes, part of the Rice bet for me is betting on the fall off of Kelsey. I think I just think this guy's kind of getting up there in age. I think that Rashee Rice might just like take a step forward and just be like the very, very clear alpha, and maybe Tyler Kelsey continues to fall.
Fair. I think that's totally fair. Although we did see this offense kind of like feed 2 middle of the field yak guys, and would it surprise any of us if their platonic ideal of an offense was using Rice and Kelsey to abuse the middle of the field with some cheap bullshit and keep the ADOT low?
Yeah.
No.
And still not really. So yeah, I see your point.
Because it's kind of how they used Hollywood when he came back alongside Kelsey, and then Kelsey had a really nice pop late season. So, who does like naked Kelsey though? Taylor Swift's mom.
Ooh, Taylor Swift's mom. Didn't see that one coming.
I'm just trying to get this rumor going. Let's get some steam.
That's a good rumor. He has a very hairy back, and by very hairy, I mean it looks kind of like mine. I saw a picture of it on Twitter.
That turn you on?
All right, we go on Kelsey. Yeah.
I mean, like I think Kelsey's a strong pick. The other options, what Scatterbo or I think we get our 1-2-5-1. No, let's go ahead and double stack Mahomes. I would hate to have him single stacked. I don't like taking Mahomes because without the rushing, you're really he's like an overpriced like yards and touchdown bomb guy. And I prefer, truth is, Neil, I really only want to take Mahomes if I have Worthy and Rice, and then I can take Kelsey, falling back, and I've got him triple stack. It's like, okay, if he hits now, I have like his 3 main weapons. I expect him to have smash games. I still think he's overpriced for. Like, I think we're clinging to what was. We're like, oh, they're healthy now. It'll definitely be good. It's like, dude, the Matt Nagy version of this offense is boring and dog shit and bad. And it's his Mahomes ADOT's been going down every fucking year. I understand the guys he used to throw to, but that didn't stop him from fucking throwing to him. Like,
right.
His ADOT and his fantasy usage was so much better with MVS as his wide receiver too, because of how the offense operated. So it's like, They've clearly signaled with how they're using Hollywood, medium ADOT, middle of the field bullshit, Rice, middle of the field, a couple of deep shots, Worthy, cranked down that ADOT, made him more of a manufacturer guy. Like that. This is how this offense operates because they're afraid of like too high and Mahomes just chucking it for arm punts. So like at this price, like I'd rather just have guys with rushing spikes that allow me to outscore everybody else. Because otherwise, I mean, what is the difference between Mahomes and Jared Goff right now? Like if the offense doesn't materially change structurally, systemically.
Yeah, it's not my favorite pick. But it's also for me. It's like if he's falling enough, and I have him stacked, so that's why I'm like, yeah, we can take him at 93. It's not that I'm like a major Mahomes bull. It's more like we've got the stack. He's fallen in value, so like this feels like I'm also a 4% exposure blanket guy. So it's just like, all right, this is where I want to get my Mahomes shares when he's fallen. I'm already have him stacked.
Do you own the 4% exposure blanket?
Is it a real thing? Did they make a 4%? I need to get one. All right, yeah. Let's see this. Mahomes is priced where he is because he's arguably the best quarterback in NFL history. I mean, that is true. It's still like, who cares if he's not a great NFL or a great fantasy quarterback? Like even if he is a great NFL quarterback, but I still think he has it in him. So like I don't want to have zero Mahomes. All right, let's see it. Tyler going to show it off for us. There it is. Tyler's 4% exposure blanket. It's a thing of beauty. I want to know, how does one get one of those? What's the cost for something like that?
I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks on Pete's shop.
That's not bad.
Dude,
it's a good deal.
I'm not a big blanket guy, but look how thin it is.
Yeah. I mean, I guess living in Texas, you don't really need blankets as much as you do here in Minnesota.
Oh, no, dude. Yeah, I'm roasting my balls off like 10 months of the year, but it is soft. It is thin. Would recommend.
Nice.
Makes you feel cozy as Saquon Barkley and King Henry just absolutely bury you.
If you want a winter break, you got to get that 12% exposure blanket.
That's the flannel blanket.
Exactly. Oh, I need one of those. That's a good idea.
Yes.
All right, we are on the clock. We got Charbonnet. So
this is a tough decision for me. I like Charbonnet, but the Tootin slappies would tell me Tootin is a better ceiling bet, and he correlates with Hunter. What say you?
He does. Let's do it. It's fun. It's just fun. He might be moving up. We've got Jacob just talking up Tootin, writing him up in thinking. So maybe he moves up, and we got to get our exposure.
How many drafters like ourselves, and this is a fun thing. This is why I made you make this team. How many drafters are pissing with Lamb, Rice, and Adams to then take old borings and Mixon and Pollard and then add on Tootin?
You're right. This team is wild. What are we doing?
No one's making this team, Neil.
This is a Tyler exclusive team right here.
Yeah,
love it.
I like to play both sides of the slappy aisle to make sure that I have a team no one else hopefully has without just auto drafting it. And it's going to be stacked and correlated to the nines because that's how we do.
It's going to be a beauty. All right. We are coming back around to our pick again. And
can I see the board real quick with the Thomas Nico 12-hole drafter?
Yep.
Thick Thena took Lamar. So he probably takes T-Law to stack up. So do you want to pull up T-Law with Tootin and Hunter, or do you want to try to push it?
I kind of do want to take him because mostly because I'm like, we could take Tyler Warren. I took him with Nez. Nez kind of sold me on Tyler Warren a little bit, but
no, let's go ahead and take because Dak went, so we missed out on our Dak.
We do have a late Stafford out and a Tyler Shuck out, so we could do the 3 quarterback build.
Yeah, those guys suck ass, and T-Law has some rushing. Let's take T-Law.
All right, let's take T-Law into it. Okay, good,
because it maintains our flexibility. We don't have to take a third quarterback. I'd prefer to get a third stacked quarterback, but that Tootin over Dak with the having Pickens, we probably should have taken a look-see at the board to make sure we weren't missing out, because that does kind of suck. Because I think I would have pushed T-Law with Dak and hoped for the 3, and if not, felt good. looking back, what 2v2 will we like more? Bijan and T-Law or Dak and what? It would have been probably Marvin Mims.
I think I'm okay with it. You think we should? I mean, we could have gone Dak.
I mean, it was just a conversation, and we didn't have it, and that's okay. We missed out.
Yeah,
we'll get better.
Yeah, but you're right. It would have been a falling Dak, which feels pretty good right now because I think he's going to continue to be moving up a little bit with Pickens there. Just kind of like he got those two, so it's like hard for him to move backwards. Yeah, it's a good conversation. I agree. We could have had that one. Did not. I don't think he was. Was he at the top of the sidekick? Maybe he wasn't. I just missed it. It's getting late, you know.
Well, I think we just saw Tootin and we snap picked, and that was all it was. And
it was just we were excited.
We were excited. Hey, you know what? We double stack T-Law. We're gonna triple, maybe quad stack him. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be better than fine. It's gonna be amazing. Did Hollywood go?
I hope so. I hate Hollywood. Dog shit pick. I don't think he's gone yet.
Yeah. Just thinking, if we do want to be majorly stacking, that's the way to do it. Oh, they make a towel too. All right. Tyler,
someone
doing sales for Pete. Love it.
You know, I'm not getting any of the revenue sharing, sadly, because according to Pete, he makes no money on the merch because he has too many merch items and not enough sales. But I gotta say that the merch, it's high quality shit. The t-shirts, they feel nice. They last a pretty good time if you take care of them. I famously wear the shit out of my crap. But it's always high quality stuff. It's not just cheap garbage, which really separates Pete from some of the other, outlets.
You calling out Tom? Is the Fantasy Sanctuary? Is it cheap stuff?
No, I was like, off the top of my head, I don't. Fantasy Points, very comfy, very soft t-shirt.
It's wonderful, yeah.
Dude, my wife loves it when I wear the Ass Man shirt out in public. Big fan.
Is she? I'm sure she loves that.
Dude, she's #1 fan. Yeah, no. So good quality stuff. Yeah, I was like, I actually don't know who makes dog shits. It's not Temu level stuff. And I gotta give props. Fantasy community, high quality merch so far that I've bought. And apparently I am the only thing keeping Pete afloat in the merch business, allegedly.
I still don't really know what Temu is. I saw a Twitter reference to Temu about like it being cheap stuff.
It's just Chinese like sweatshop shit, like unabashedly cheap garbage.
Okay. Interesting.
Because their whole thing is, hey, buy lots of shit for very little money, make you feel good. And people for like a year were like, it is fun to just buy like 7 boxes of shit for $30. Yeah. And then it's just garbage. And they're like, oh, this sucks.
I see.
Ferg correlates.
Yep.
And he's definitely not coming back. So if you want Ferg, we got to take him here.
We can.
I don't know that we absolutely have to.
Also correlates.
Yeah, I just don't like Jaden Blue.
Yeah.
Let's just eat our vegetables. Get two pieces of the Dallas offense.
Sorry,
it's so not fun. It's so not fun.
Yeah. It's not that fun. It's kind of fun though. Like that could be a really good offense.
Would have been better if we had the quarterback is all.
True. We're just going to regret all night. We're going to regret not taking Dak there.
Well, hopefully, and no offense to what, here's the thing. We want to get it out of this pod, and we also want to do better in every other pod. And so for that reason, you have to have skinny, stacked Dak. And I just want our team to be better. So it feels prudent to take Lamb and Ferguson in this Schottenheimer offense. Pickens, obviously fun. I don't know how often they're going to be throwing deep and giving him shots. So for that reason, more than fine having the headless double stack.
Yeah, me too. It's a beautiful thing. It's one of those things that's nice about the using real-time assistance is it's going to tell us about the headless double stack, which I might.
We don't even have to think about it. We were told to take it, and we took it, and
exactly.
We liked it. We liked it.
Easy game. Until these get banned next year. No, they're not going anywhere.
I can't, dude. I can't wait to win BBM and shout out the Swolecast RTA tools.
That would be hilarious.
Real-time Swole account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you do, then Davis will get one cooked up real quick, and if you can sell it.
No shit. Can you scroll back up?
Scroll back up where? Here?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say Garindo. That's fun.
I like Garindo. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco, they have the number one easiest schedule.
Is that right? I have not looked closely. I know the Vikings
number one by a
terrible
wide
schedule.
margin. Yeah. I think they're like in a tier of themselves. I think New England is right below them. So yeah, no, Garindo, pretty Devon Achane-esque, very, very explosive. Got a lot more work in both phases than people thought he could. I don't think he's going anywhere as far as like what this offense like to do, which is feed explosive yak type of players. Guess who could fill in the Deebo rushing sweep bullshit role? Well, maybe it's Garindo. It's not Rizzy Pearsall right now, missing with a tight hamstring, that's for sure. And if CMC misses any time, Garindo literally projected better every week than Mason, because he would project for at least 2 or 3 targets a game, whereas Mason would project for 0. And with his speed, like just home run hitting type of stuff, he's kind of like jacked up Mountain Dew Keaton Mitchell for all the Keaton Mitchell slappies.
Jacked up Mountain Dew Keaton Mitchell. I like that. That's I don't know what to make of that, because Keaton Mitchell, we haven't really got to see him play that much.
It's provocative, Neil.
It is provocative. It's does that just mean like Keaton Mitchell who plays more?
Well, like people remember Keaton Mitchell for like posting 3 top 24 finishes on like 8 or 9 touches a game over like 7 weeks because of just like the home run hitting stuff with Lamar. And now he's healthy and people are like, oh, scrambling to take him, which I mean, fine, whatever. But Garindo was like same thesis, but he got way more work. So just as an RB2, he's underpriced. RB2 on a good team, underpriced. Explosive like Achane without getting fatter. No reports of Garindo adding weight, unlike Achane last year. Curious. So seems like a smash ass pick, especially after like 10 picks after Rashad White and Ray Davis. Like, yeah, give it to me.
Can you believe these fools let us get Isaac Garindo?
Fucking clown shit.
Clowns.
This room is donkeys.
This team, man, we're crushing this pod.
Look
100% chance we get out of this pod.
2-4-5-2. It feels good.
It feels really good. We can add on if we want to. We don't need to. We could just stop now, probably.
Dude, we could just log out. We'd win.
What a team. I mean, anytime you have Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback room.
These quarterbacks have literally never made any fantasy drafter mad the last 3 years.
Exactly.
Literally never.
Guaranteed winner.
David, you enjoy Jaden Blue at his ADP that he should at least be going, and I hope to God does soon. The second he gets second team reps and practice reported, it's Jover for his ADP.
Yeah.
Damn, I was hoping for Dobbs. That sucks. I almost pushed to take him over Garindo, but I thought
Did you really
come back? Yeah. I like Dobbs a lot. I say Strange here just to triple stack T-Law and call it a day. It's not my most fun draft.
We do need another tight end if we want to cover that week 10 bye. And his bye week is 8.
Well, and we know how much you don't like bye weeks, Neil.
I hate bye weeks. Yeah.
And now
I just want to have them all covered. We are all 8 and 10 buys, so we are going to be hurting those weeks.
I don't think we'll be hurting that bad.
Nah,
Devontae Adams famously can put up 50 fucking points in a week.
Famously, we did see that.
Multiple years, guys. It's not going anywhere. Went to the best dude. Like he could not have landed in a better fucking spot than Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford replacing Cooper Kupp. Like my God, jizz-tastic.
Yeah, I mean it's wheels. I mean, and Puka Nacua is like pretty injury prone so far, and he was like that was kind of the knock on him coming in, right? He was injured in college.
Dude, I hate that people get to say that because like, what are the odds you rupture your bursa sac and then they're like, it's fine unless he lands on it again. And literally week 1,
is that what happened?
Directly, yeah. No, he aggravated.
I did not know that. Okay,
yeah, he aggravated it in camp, and they were like, we're going to let him rest, and as long as he doesn't land directly on it with a lot of pressure, he'll be fine. Week 1. like first fucking half, goes down, and it's that knee to the ground, and he's out for 9 weeks. It was like, dude, what are the fucking odds? Like, this such fuck, dude. He kind of does take care of his body with the ball, like Mike Williams, but he's a dog.
Yeah. I mean, I drafted a lot of Puka, so I'm not drafting as though he's injury prone, but
scared money don't make money.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen was injury prone until he wasn't, famously.
Yeah, very true. I see some picks I like here.
Yeah, me too. Adam Thielen.
Oh, Adam Thielen. You just want to go old as fuck. Okay.
Just spike week hunting, brother. 10 picks past ADP, like wide receiver 6, just looking for spikes in an offense that could improve. It's fine. And Neil, this is not old as fuck. Look, we have Lamb, Rashi, Adams, and Thielen are the MILFs, making sure these young men take care of business.
Travis Kelce.
Finish when it counts.
Yeah. I mostly just meant Adam Thielen himself is old as fuck. But
dude, he's almost as old as you.
He is. He's basically my age. Yeah.
Good for him. I wish he was a night owl like you, Instead he grinds, goes to bed early, wakes up early, He's
one of those Davis Maddox types. Just working his ass off all the time. Early to bed, early to rise.
Working hard, not smart.
Yeah, but the difference is I go with Devonta Adams and Thielen, and they are getting their dinner and I'm getting my breakfast. That's the difference between us.
Yeah.
Correct. He is. He is, in fact, one of the greatest route runners of all time.
Famously, doesn't have to run very good routes just to get fed a shitload of targets by the Kingmaker, Stafford, and McVay himself. We were drafting Robert Woods in the 5th round with Jared Goff because of Sean McVay. Never forget.
We are. It's funny. We're like 2 years removed from like Stafford might retire. Like that was a concern for me with the Rams offense 2 years ago. Was all the rumors that Stafford's got a hurt back and might retire. Yeah, and it was like, okay, that's kind of scary. And now it's like,
Did you read the Jordan Rodriguez piece that just came out?
No. On what?
Basically interviewing McVay about that of like peaking, hitting rock bottom with like Belichick and being figured out and not knowing that he needed to just like step away, like, and grinding really, really hard, kind of losing himself in that year and feeling like, am I lost? Have I lost it? Do I need to step back? I don't like who I'm becoming, trying to, and then like, reinventing himself and the offense and finding new vigor along with Stafford and cooking the last couple of years. It was a really good piece. Go check it out.
That is really good.
I think it was like a conversation with somebody. I forget the name off the top of my head, but funny how things change fast or can't change fast. But also, I think it was Jacob or somebody else. I mean, we were taking Cooper Kupp at the 1-2 turn before Puka was like definitely missing time. He was like a 2-3 turn, then it was like, well, why not just flip the board, take him there, blah blah. But Adams can't touch the second round because he put up 30 points back-to-back weeks in the playoffs last year with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and he signed a great contract, and he's going with Stafford for reasons because he's old. That's it. Mike Evans is getting taken at the 34 spot with a first-round rookie receiver in the room. Hasn't moved. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I ain't scared. All right, 2-4-6-3. What do we need here?
Let's finish off with a little bit of. Can I interest you in some Tutu Atwell?
Tutu.
Just hit the wide receiver tab. He's a little bit lower, but we're just going for correlation and spikes.
Sure.
I don't love taking Marshawn Lloyd right now when he's not practicing without the rehab team. And it just feels prudent to get. We're trying to lock up spike weeks and high pass volume. Touchdown upside stuff, and then we can just. So, are you good with 2 quarterbacks? Do you want to try to get a third quarterback on this team? What are you thinking, Neil?
I kind of think we need running back help first and foremost.
You feeling scared?
I'm feeling I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like, I just feel like I would love some more running backs on this team. Not scared of anything. I'm just thinking like, man, this running back room would be so much more fun We could add some friends to it.
So do you want to finish with a 2-6-7-3?
Possibly, yeah. I think so.
Okay. Let's hit that running back tab and see what we got going on. Because I'm not taking any of Lloyd, Smith, or Neal right now.
Samson. I don't hate Samson either.
Samson feels out of place, honestly.
Taj Brooks is there. I actually don't hate Miles Sanders went. So I was going to say.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
My guy, Khalil Herbert. Actually could go with Eli Mitchell again. Or just go with Brashard Smith if
I like Eli. No, I was going to shout Eli and then we'll figure it out. Get the stack. I think, is it the most fun click in the world? No, but they talked about rehabbing him like they did Jarrett McKinnon when they re-signed him. He was a priority signing, and I definitely think Brashard Smith being so late draft capital is like, I would not be surprised if Elijah flips him easily, and Pacheco might look real mid coming off his injury and surgery happening mid-season. Elijah Mitchell, injury prone but very explosive. Again, if they get him in the rehab room and he's healthy and he's like, they don't care. They've made, great shit out of dog shit before.
Yeah. Glad we got him. I don't hate Sean Tucker as a late round flyer.
He's fine.
He's fine. Exactly. Let's see. What are the ranks? I actually moved Marshawn Lloyd up in these ranks is why he's so high. I don't know if that's actually.
I liked that before he had not gotten out of the rehab group.
Yeah.
Because I think the recent quote about him was, it's pretty much get healthy and then we'll talk. Like they like him. They like his explosion. Oh, here it is. I think we have a feel for what Marshawn Lloyd is capable of. We've seen enough. He's explosive. I think he's getting into a better spot, but he's got to prove it over the course of time. Unfortunately, he had a lot of things pop up to make him unavailable, and it's hard to make it when you're unavailable. I'm really excited about the player. Again, I think he's in a lot better spot. Trained his butt off from day the season ended to come back here, and he worked really hard to get back. And then he had another thing pop up. But he's in a lot better spot right now. We'll give him more as tolerated. So it sounds like he's still not clear for ramp up. Green Bay is a really precautious medical staff team. So until he gets more reps and he's healthier, it's just prudent to kind of just like slow the gas.
I wonder, I like this Savion Williams pick. As we're talking about Marshawn Lloyd, I kind of think Savion Williams could get a little bit of that running work for Green Bay. I think he might.
They have been adamant they only want to use him as wide receiver.
Have they really?
Yeah.
I mean, they say that.
Weirdly adamant.
That is weird.
Because they were asked like, "Hey, are you gonna kind of use him like you have with like Reed, like a little bit of the rush game, kind of what he did in college?" And they were like, "We view him as a wide receiver. He's gonna work as a wide receiver." It was like weirdly terse.
That is weird.
Yeah,
because they do it with Reed, so it's not like
I know. I was like, "All right, bro. All right, relax."
Huh. I assume you don't want Tyler Shuck. After I believe you said adamantly that he's terrible earlier.
If you are sold, he's going to start all fucking of the games, and you want that sweet Olave correlation, fine.
I actually have another pick in mind that I don't love, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. Blake Corum, could still be the RB2 there.
You both guys up. We got 20 seconds to think about it.
I'll pull up all the running backs too, just see if we have any other names that you see here.
Yeah,
Emmanuel Wilson.
Sucks ass.
Trevor Etienne.
Fuck. Go Tyler Shuck. That sucks.
Good rhyme. Fuck. Go Tyler Shuck.
That's my slogan for this year. Anytime I have to click that bastard.
Completes the team. We did go with 3 quarterbacks. We have Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Shuck. At running back, we have Joe Mixon, Tony Pollard, Bashal Tutin, Isaac Garendo, and Eli Mitchell. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Devontae Adams, Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, Adam Thielen, Tutu Atwell. And at tight end, we have Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson, and Brenton Strange.
You know what? My one critique of this team, Neil, is that we started 3 strong and then we got a fourth strong we liked. We probably should have kept ourselves to 6 and done a 3-6-6-3. That one's on me. I saw 2-2 and I was like, ooh, that's a nice spike.
Just had to have your 2-2.
It took us out of structure. That said, so that's my one critique. Because otherwise this is well stacked, well correlated.
We could use one more running back, I think is essentially what you're saying there. And I think
it's fragile in that we are counting on and here's the flip side of that. Would I have liked the 6th? Sure. Was there like a clear 6th?
Yeah.
Debatable.
Not really.
Especially at this time of year. But that's why I wanted us to take Nixon and Pollard when we did, because like ideally 2 anchors that if healthy, like those are our guys and they're going to project like top, 12, top 14 options all season long. We took Tootin saying, hey, this is our shot at, the breakout rookie who gives us a shit ton of spikes. We took Garindo. He's our arbitrage H-hand in a really fun offense. Elijah Mitchell is our dart throw. Can he be Jet McKinnon from a few years ago, who was a 10th round pick at 32 coming off that year? So it's like, it feels fragile because it's 5 instead of 6, but we just kind of moved our, second, third round selection to the 5th and the 7th. And I feel fine about it. Like I said, nitpicking, probably didn't need a 7th receiver, but if these running backs are healthy, we get the breakouts we want. We get the spike weeks we want. Well, then we're just trying to correlate, wide receiver spikes in the playoffs, and numbers do help there.
They do. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fragile. I think this team could be pretty good. If any of the other 3 running backs ends up doing what we need them to do, this team could end up pretty strong. If they don't, this could be one where we look at it as oh my God, what were we thinking with this running back team? Bashal Tootin is the RB2 competing with you for the RB2. Isaac Garindo is just could be absolutely nothing, but if things go the right way, could work out.
I'd argue that drafting Mahomes and Kelsey is more of if that's not working, it really doesn't matter.
True, good point. If that's
because our bailouts are Trevor Lawrence, who is yet to put it all together, in a first-year offense, and Tyler Shuck, a second-round pick, New Orleans. This team is as fragile as it gets as far as
it's a fragile team.
Yeah,
good to see you, Meg. All right. I see you are chatting in chat. Tyler, do you want to do you have the energy for another draft? I know you have to work in the morning, unlike some of us.
I do have to work. It's 10:30. I should probably hop off. I would love to do a second draft with you sometime in the future.
All right.
I think we can build a shipper. And next time we will use up the full clock and think through our picks. But I think that's pretty good for first time. We haven't. This
is our first draft together since August is the last time we did a draft together. We streamed together. We drafted against each other on fantasy points. This is the first time we've drafted together. So this is our
Josh Palmer. Look how good that feels.
No Josh Palmer. Yeah, we also didn't get Ladd McConkey, sadly. No longer there in the 6th round for us. But
you didn't even want to take him in the 7th.
He grew on me, but by the end of the summer, I was drafting a lot of Ladd McConkey.
I did a whole rant.
Yeah, I was you did a good job of talking me into some Ladd McConkey.
Let's ignore the misses I had and let's just focus on my Ladd bull stance.
All right, I mean that's going to be it for this stream. We need to get out of here. Thank you very much, Tyler, for joining me on this draft. Of course, thank you to Nez and Jacob. I want to remind people, if you have not already joined the Flannelverse, I now do have exactly one member, that being Nez, who joined while he was on the stream with me. But I do have one thing to offer now beyond just supporting me. You can find my thoughts on the Eliminator contest written up in Discord right now. I'll be putting out a video in the next couple days also on just general Eliminator strategy. It's a contest I've had some success in. So if you're interested in playing the Eliminator, check it out. It's $5 to join. You'll be able to find that on the Flannelverse YouTube. Thanks, guys, very much. Go check out Tyler. Let me give you your send off. What do you have coming up? Where can people find you? I know you have multiple channels to tell people to go to at this point.
So much work these days. Check me out on the Fantasy Sanctuary with Tom and Rich. We're live every Monday doing BBMs with guests. This week was John Daigle of ETR, formerly 4for4. Next week, a very special guest joining us on Monday for our BBM yet to announce. and a lot more guests coming after that. And then live every Thursday with your favorite trio of dipshits. I call it dipshit chasing. They call it Typhel Tower. TYFFEL, not Eiffel, Typhel, YouTube. When you search it, come join us over there. Thursday evenings will be live tomorrow. First giveaway of a BBM entry for hitting over 100 subs. We're giving away a BBM entry every 100 subscribers, giving away 5 total for 1K subs. So come check us out over there. If you like arguing, bickering, Swolecast vibes, but 20 years younger, that's the channel for you. So come check us out there. A lot of fun stuff happening over on that channel.
Go check out Typhel Tower YouTube channel. Go check out the Fantasy Sanctuary. You can also just find Tyler on X at emo__cowboy. Is that right?
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah.
At emo__cowboy. You can find me at PlayerQDFS. Thanks, guys, very much. And I'll catch you next Wednesday. Is probably going to be the next stream. Maybe we'll do something in between, but I'll see you guys later. And by the way, join the Flannelverse. Yeah, that's right. Full wine glass for sure. Flannelverse Discord is free. You can find that, the link in the description of this video. Thanks, guys. I will catch you later.